Welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. You were just in time for our special presentation from Kepler Interactive, and just in time to catch a speed run of Bionic Bay. If you are ready to master the art of teleportation, to control the very fabric of time and space, to manipulate gravity, and to uncover the mystery of Bionic Bay, then do we have a fantastic presentation for you. Central to Bionic Bay is an innovative swap mechanic and a realistic physics system, which combine to offer a new way of interacting with your environment. And to see all of that in just about an hour, we have Nico Hart with us here today. Nico, my friend, what do you have to show us?
Hello, everyone. Welcome on into some Bionic Bay. This is an absolute gem of a game. Honestly, when I first picked this up, I just adored everything. I'm not usually a platformer speedrunner, so this was indeed a great challenge. It was posed to me as like, "Oi, Nico, you should speedrun." I'm like, God, you twisted my arm. All right, cool. So we're going to jump into it almost immediately so I can then start to talk more about the game, because there is a lot. I'd say there's a lot, but there's like minimal lore per se, but I'll talk to you more about it. So I've got my timer on the left-hand side, but just before we go ahead, I mean, it'll help me to tell you when the time is. Just as a heads up, this is a showcase. It's not a full run. I'm going to be showing you some of the best of the levels so that you can kind of get a good grasp of what the game's all about, like what cool mechanics it delivers, and the rest of it is for you to go and grab the game for yourself to find out more about the game. Right, so I'm going to start from new game, and then I will give you some spiel about the game. So I'm looking at the time. The time will begin after this cutscene and after the load screen. So we come across this egg. It was co-developed by Murina and Psychoflow. They're discovering this random, like, I say random egg, but it's an egg that they had acquired through some means of forms I'll tell you later. And as you can see, catastrophe happens. We're this little guy over here, this unnamed scientist, and seemingly electrified, but actually we're transported. I love that sound of the intro. It's so good.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned not so much lore per se, but absolutely dripping with atmosphere. Games that do this.
Oh, time starts now, by the way.
Sorry. Sorry. By all means, please cut me off for things like that.
No, you're fine. No, like, carry on your sentence. I'm good for now.
Yeah, no, you know, I had the idea to reach out to you when I saw you actually showcasing this on the Steam store page for this game, and just immediately upon that, you know, saw how dripping with atmosphere the game is. Just
absolutely
really beautiful presentation.
Fun fact towards that as well. Sorry, fun fact towards that as well is that I'm still on the store page since release as well. So Kepler Interactive have kept me on a consistent loop on the Steam store page so that they can see my very first speedrun attempt of the game as well. And deeply honored that they would like that they were using my likeness and my video and my speedrun as a consistent showcase for it, which is fantastic.
I hope you've been allowed to eat and sleep in the time since, if they've been keeping you there the whole time.
Imagine a month of uptime live. Right. Oh my goodness me. Right. Let's talk about this a little bit first. So obviously we've been transported into a brand new world after the catastrophic event in that laboratory, and we've seemingly entered upon a biomechanical world in this kind of slow, exhausted state, and then we come across this mechanism, and it's emitting a load of light. So we're like, I wonder what this light is. And it seemingly gives us powers. But these powers here are not like immense, crazy powers. They're just kind of the ability to like platform and move better. So we can do like higher jumps, we can dash in the air, we can do loads of things like that.
I like that that's pretty much. I appreciate that it wasn't the teleportation incident that gave you the powers. It was walking into the spotlight.
I mean, that would have been a pretty short game if that was the case. Fair. Anyway. So as you can see as well, like there's loads of treachery in this world. Like it's not all just like, you know, very settled in place. Like it's everything seemingly like, I don't know, like years in the future. Like it's very robust. Everything's kind of breaking about, and we've got to try to discover what this world is. Again, we are given no lore. This is one of the major things about this game is that through the act of the game itself, it kind of tells you a little bit, but not even seemingly enough. Like we get some logs from some of the scientists that we either think somehow came to this world or were also transported here. Right, let's talk about this bit here. So we do get some little tutorials throughout the game, like of how you operate the the platforming and the mechanics, or like if you pick up a new upgrade, or like a new barrels, like a new ability, then we do get a tutorial about how to be able to use them. By the way, you can get crushed by these. You can get crushed by a lot of things. There is a lot of like danger afoot, and as you're going through, you can just see like how much like of the world is. Oh, by the way, be careful here, there's an explodey. How this all kind of like seemingly interlinks in towards each other as well, like how it all seems like one, like part of one machine, if that makes sense. So this little bit here actually kind of gives us a bit of a heads up that, the properties of like water will kind of push down on you at times, and this comes very, very prevalent later on. I'll show you at that point. And now we can see that as well, like there is loads of different alive mechanics, active mechanics. So it's not just a desolate dead world. There is still roboticisms that are currently doing their things.
Not a dead world, just a world that might happen to want you dead.
You know what? That's a very good compromise. I was going to say compromise. So here's something as well. Like this is kind of like another sort of tutorial thing where that jet stream there sucks you in and then spits you out at the bottom. So you got to try to time things well, such as the case of platforming. You got to use the timing of platforming to get you from A to B. You can get crushed by these little cogwheels, so don't get crushed. You die in that way, then you don't want that to happen. Again, that would make a very early game. Now, these little platforms here are just floating, and we obviously don't know why it's floating yet. And we kind of presented with this little green
backups?
Sure,
Backups?
Backups.
I was going to make
That's the thing about this game as well, is that it's scary platforming.
I was going to make a comment about
it's scary platforming, isn't it?
I mean, there's that, but it's, unlike a lot of platform games where you can, put in consistent inputs every time and get consistent outputs, with such a physics-based interaction system being part of the game, I imagine a lot more of it is about adapting to your circumstances. And what we saw there as you were climbing down is definitely part of that as well.
Absolutely. And as we do progress through, we're giving even more tutorials about how you platform. Like you just let me again. So you kind of like do an initial roll and then a jump, and then when you're in that mid-air jump, you can then do that dive. That is going to be a very cool mechanic of navigation as we go through. And as you mentioned, physics as well. Like this is a very big example of the physics where, you hang on the side of one of the, those rotating platforms, and then it gives you more leverage to go up. It's kind of like the seesaw situation. Now, this is what I do here.
I didn't think you could.
Not that one.
No.
What I do is redo that whole section again, and if you get too close to that, you will get hit by the damage. Is that you go when the jet stream of air is going through, and you don't do that.
No, this is what we didn't want to happen in Lava Beef Zone.
Yeah. It's classic. Okay, so you wait over here, then you go down, and then you can bypass the ever-flowing lava. Again, it's good to not fall victim to the terrain world that's going on right now. So I will oblige to doing this as an effective and proper way of platforming. Easy peasy. So yeah, as I did mention earlier on, like the fact that this game is very minimal lore really allows the player to be able to kind of like build their own theories. And I feel like I've got my own kind of theory about like what the end of the game is. Again, my theory might be completely adjacent to somebody else's. Okay, bye. But I love that about this game is that its core function is trying to show you like the skills of platforming, the beautiful the beautiful like aesthetic of the game. Just it's a very, very well versed game. I'd like to say I guarantee it. So there's these like little like floating starry rocks that you can climb through there, and that gets you to your next destination. Now we're going to skip into the next level, which is going to be Swap. There is like a in between level that would get you into Swap, but we're just going to skip through right away, just because again, limited window of time, an hour 30 with the run, world record being about 2:15 load remove time. So I want to try to show you the best as I can. So this is where the kind of like the big importance of this game is that, like, we thought that everybody else had been electrocuted. No, maybe they've also been teleported as well. And all of these other scientists have other kind of things around with them as well, like this swap beam. Now, this swap beam is very, very cool because this allows us to be able to swap instantaneously with an object that we target, and ergo allows us to be able to progress through the game very, very rapidly. And it's a very big skill set of the game, to say the least.
I appreciate the way they tutorialize that there with actually having the like tutorial version of you climb out from where the box was and move over to the next spot. It was very clever.
I mean, we've seen many different platformers where, like, it doesn't handwalk you at all, and it's like, you know, we have to figure it out ourselves. So, especially when you've got so many different mechanics in this game that, like, you know, are very vast to learn, it's very, very appealing that, you know, it's it works out for like every kind of player. People who may not be comfortable with platformers, people who've never played a platformer, and someone like myself who just wants to learn as well, like, you know, just to perfect our skills basically of platforming.
Speaking of
right, now let's see if I can do this.
Speaking of popular things like platformers, someone's just described this as an isekai, and I'm not sure how to feel about that. That's the anime.
I never once thought about that. I love that. I've been watching too many isekais recently. Don't get me started on the anime, because I will give my list.
I heard the mic on your end go blank, and I'm like, am I gonna have to describe what an isekai is? I wasn't prepared for this.
No, I love isekai animes. I love it.
Good.
Now, here's a fun little mechanic: is that we got to try to use the swapped objects in order to be able to actually avoid these laser beams. So, as you can see from what we did before, we completely blocked it.
On the other side.
This time around, we're swapping our position onto the other side of the laser, not even narrowly avoiding it, completely avoiding it. And again, that's the gist of each kind of level, is that each level kind of like really, very much panders in towards the new mechanic, or a tandem, like a lot of the mechanics. Yes.
It's not a double I plural. Mechani.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I've never said that word out loud. Why did I bother to do it now?
Well, you're busy doing other things. I can understand if your hands get ahead of your brain.
That's true. Now, this little bit here can be really treacherous, because one of the little bombs at the very bottom can somewhat crack its way upwards, and you're just like standing there, like, I'm just waiting for this to happen. It just goes, oh, hello there, and it just comes up and says hi. It's like, okay.
I appreciate that for all the aggressive physics things that can happen, that hitting walls and floors at high speeds doesn't defeat you. Like no,
it's so true. And same for these kind of cogwheels as well, because there are going to be cogwheels that spin at a efficient speed, and if you get hurt by those, then you're being sent flying, and the impact is incredibly tough. Now, you got to, like, this also kind of like teaches you that you do have to use like multiple objects in order to be able to clear certain heights. So you can't just rely on your own jump. This bit's fun. Swap here, let these explode. Now you have navigation, but before you do that, you do have to make the big jump, because when you do explode certain areas, it also sometimes, oh yeah, this is the one time we get that ability to...
Oh. Well.
That happens. Okay, so let's see if I can do this, because this jump here, even casually and speedrunning, is really tough. Like, you have to time it so well. See what I mean? Like, it's...
To be honest, I thought the intent was to hit that second box in midair and jump off of it, and I was extremely hyped for that.
I mean, I would love to. We will probably be able to do that later on, actually. I will say that for now. Oh, wrong button. Yeah, so trust me, even like during practice, this bit is one of the biggest challenges for speedrunning. So I know I can clear it. Kepler Interactive keeping that as blackmail. Cheers. Come on.
Wow. Yeah, no, you need to do the roll and then hop. You're basically coyote jumping at this point. There it is. Oh, I thought that was it.
So close. I thought that was it too. There's no grab.
I'll
come
see if
on.
I can get our friends over at Frame Fatales to teach you about a re-grab. That might help here.
I'll give it 5 more turns, and if I can't, I will. I'll cry. That's what I'll do.
Yeah. Know your backups.
There we go. That should be it. No, I almost had it again. You know what? I could swap with a box.
Yeah, I figured
that's the smartest thing to do.
That was kind of our backup,
anyway,
such as it were.
Yeah, that was the backup. That was totally the backup. Anyway. So, like, you can do, like, the perfect pixel jump, but seemingly I'd forgotten about that strategy. So ignore me, okay? Ignore me. Anyway. There was me trying to be there was me trying to be pro gamer anyway, so I apologize
between Nico Hart and chat. So thank you for your help.
Everything else I know, I swear. Anyway. So from here on out, we're using these boxes in order to be able to block the very strong and heated rays of air, so we don't want that to happen. So as we turn off this little device here, we're going to try to not fall into the lasers, but then just try to navigate outside of it to be able to get to the next destination. Now, we can completely revoke the activity of these devices by exploding them. I mean, seems pretty commonplace, doesn't it? So, yeah. Right, this bit's fun. So, get one of these. Get it as close as you can towards it. That would then stop it from active. I thought I got crushed there. That was close. Then we go down, more swappings to go through. And because these ones are floating objects, when we swap them, they will retain their position. So what we do is we grab it. Grab this one for the meantime, because I can't grab the one above. We do a roll-roll.
You placed
and then we do it again.
There. Yeah.
Exactly. It is very, very convenient how it's done, and it gets very heavily utilized throughout it. Now, the main point of this section, don't get crushed, because this one here doesn't have that initial box to protect you. So you grab the box, you quickly run over it, avoid getting crushed, and then you made your way through the next area. And I believe we're going to be swapping levels to automate. We're going to be skipping beam. So as soon as we get the opportunity, I'm going to swap the level.
That's a very strong box to hold all that.
Absolutely.
Or a very weak piston. I'm not sure. I mean, it's strong enough to crush you, so.
Yeah. Right, so let me tell you about what beam was. I've got a load of commentary notes here, so I'll see if I can rapidly get through them whilst we're doing this as well. So we're skipping over the level beam, which introduce you to more threats, which will have more instantaneous deaths, almost like that there, because those are bombs, and if you touch the bomb,
it's a large bomb-shaped object, so I can kind of imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw that there. I got onto the wrong side, so I couldn't. Come on, really? No practices. I've been afflicted by those bombs, so that was weird. Okay, anyway. And let's see. So you have to avoid the threat before it catches up to you or targets you. That's what beam does. It gets pretty complex, but with automate, as you can tell by the name, the names are very synonymous with what actually goes on in the level. So with automate, there is a lot of automation or objects that are very scripted to do a certain thing. So for example, like that one there, you saw that as soon as we went through the beam, it activated that elongating laser, and you have to try to avoid confronting it at all. So I did run a bit more, and yes, this is also going to be one of the first few levels that starts to bring a big hype into it, and I'll explain that momentarily as well, because obviously, whilst this does seem like very much of a just very chill platformer, it does get... Really? I got crushed with that? Okay, then. Well...
That was the equivalent of going through the airport baggage claim and a suitcase landing on you.
Okay, so that should be enough clearance. Then we can swap.
Very good.
And then we can make our way over. There we go. Easy peasy.
The time that it got you, and I was thinking to myself, what do you think that gun does normally?
It sends loads of homing missiles. Well, not homing missiles, just it homes at you and then just sends a flurry of missiles at you. That's what it is.
I suppose if the intent is just to make sure these boxes get through to wherever they're going unharmed, to getting rid of anything that might mess that up, like any living beings, is probably what that's there for. It's the QA supervisor for that area.
That sound logic to me. I'll say that now. Now here we got to be careful. Very easy to get hit by that like rotating laser. So we want to make sure that we are timing it well before we enter it. Here we got some explosions where we have to use precision platforming. So down we go. And then jump. Now, this is why I picked this level over beam, because this is a really fun mechanic. We get this like this object here, which has like apparently infinite battery and laser charges. And then we got to try to get around before getting hit here. So we're going to swap it with the laser to explode that thing up there, the homing missile bits. Come back down, swap it around, and then we get put straight back up, and that's that little challenge done. That I love the most. It really does, like, you know, start to get the inner brain working for you, like trying to figure out the best form of mechanics of the game and like the platforming and using sound logic in the game. Now, I think like this is like one of the first introductions to like conveyor belts. There is a few conveyor. I couldn't avoid that.
Yeah, you know, you're kind of making your own cycle here with when you choose to put that on the conveyor belt, but all the rest of it is
precisely
reacting to what happens. Weave it back.
It's so true.
Get some baby steps.
And there should be enough.
There we go.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Easy peasy. Now, narrowly avoiding that little bit there. The fun thing about this game as well is that you can easily, like, you know, climb up walls, and we will be utilizing that a lot throughout the game. Now, this is very timely based, so I've got to try to do this fast. There we go.
The
so
deflection on the missiles is nice.
Yeah. So it deflects, but you've also got to try to make sure that you jump into the airwave as without, you know, jumping into the same timing as those bits. So again, timing is also a factor. Not only precision platforming, but timing.
Yeah, so speedrunning in this in particular comes down to like, you have to learn the cycles and then you have to learn how to execute on the cycles you've made for yourself immediately.
Now, as you can hear, this is why I mentioned that this is hype. You can hear the first kind of like real like chase sequence music, which is everything's out to get you. Everything's about to harm you. So why not make it even more tensive for the player by putting really like just fast-paced techno music and just like, you know, oh, come on.
No, of course.
Come on, man.
Diegesis, or rather syncing the feeling you want the player to have with what's going on in the gameplay is...
Much like the Sonic drowning music, for example, right?
Not wrong.
Oh, okay. I hate this section here. So let's see. Like the timing of this can be a bit sucky. I got that first try. Good. I always get stuck there, and I don't know why. Now, if you these like floating platforms, if you do stand in them for a while, it would the weight of you will start to slowly meander you down a little bit. So that's how we were able to like renavigate that laser so that we can get by it without any worries there. Come on, man. Also, don't worry if you die a lot like I am doing. That's just a natural part of this game.
Yeah.
Even the world record speedrunners have taken occasional deaths, so it's fine. Now, I was wondering if I should fit this next level in, but I think I might just be able to. So this is Substance, this level. The major component of Substance is that it tries to add like... No. Like this is for the next level, I think. You know what? I don't think I actually wrote any notes about this, so let's just discover this together. Like, I know that I said try to fit Substance in, and I might have forgotten to just do the rest. Anyway, so okay, so this is something about this. Okay. You know what? That works.
So in most runs, the answer or the phrase people will say is know your backups. In this one, it's make your backups.
Pretty much, and I'm even impressed by that because I can't think I've ever got it like stuck in place that like because you sort of respawning the
right
the object.
You had one ready for you in case that didn't work out, so you can experiment with the physics, but.
That was cool. That was really cool, actually.
You might say that's never happened before.
You know what? Let's go for it. Yeah, that's never happened before, actually. Okay, so you got to be careful here. And the fun fact about this is that it wants you to, like, it tries to kind of throw you a curveball. And you think you've got to try to go, like, an intended route, but this time around, like, this is where, like, it's really trying to, like, make you think, like, you know, this doesn't seem right. Okay, maybe I should try the other direction. This bit here is very easy to die on. So what you got to try to do is grab this item before getting hit by the laser, come back around, put it in front of the laser here, whilst also trying to avoid the laser on returning. The amount of times I've died there just in casual play and in speedrun is a lot. So as I mentioned, like, you know, it throws so many curveballs from this point onwards. So, you know, you have to be on the tip of your, like, you have to be on your toes for this one. You have to really know. Oh, that explosion probably could have killed me, actually. So that was close. Okay, right. Now let's see if I get this first try. Because this is sometimes a perfect dash. First try.
Nice.
Oh, the amount of times that you can get hit by those revolving blades there is a lot. And even in a few of my practice runs, I just constantly got hit. So I'm really happy with that first try because that sucks. This bit's fun. What way can you stop the revolving blades? By putting an object in the middle of it. Let me get up. Thank you very much. There we go. Nice. So this stuff has gone pretty smoothly, actually. I'm really proud of this one, actually. Okay, now this is the reason why I showed it. This is a really cool mechanic. Put the triangle thing there, which then starts to explode all the oncoming missiles. Oh, that was close. Okay, let's try it again. Okay. Oh, really? I am a bit worried about this one. Yep, I was a bit worried about the one. It's like I was going to swap back into... Okay. Third try is a charm. There we go. Okay, so... I don't know why I jumped. I foresaw the laser before I even did anything there. Come on. Okay. One more time. This is the try. Wait. There we go. That's how you do it. So you know what? Patience is key, as they say, right? Even as a speedrunner, patience is key.
But patience is anathema to going fast.
They say patience is a virtue, but the virtue I can't be bothered to wait for. Anyway, so this is another interesting mechanic where we find objects that have like a propulsion behind it as well, like a jet propulsion, and with that we got to try.
Hey Nico, can the back end of the propulsion from the object we just wrote up, can that also kill us?
Exactly. Yep. And you have to like discreetly navigate it well. Oh, okay. So that's another thing that we introduced today is kind of like nano planets that are gonna have some more interesting mechanics throughout the game. So obviously those ones are being held by a gravitational pull.
We're gonna have some
in place.
Relative gravity later on, huh?
Yep, which you also did see by the intro video earlier on for the game as well. So I think I definitely did see it, but again, we'll be covering a few of those later on for sure. So this bit is really fun, actually. This is like you got like different kind of like elements where you got to try to play. Well, I don't think you got to try to put the boxes on here, but I do it anyway. You got to try to keep this kind of auto-scroller moment, like movement going without incurring the death by laser. So you got to try to hit the weighted platforms to stop the lasers, whilst also trying to hit that platform at the very top because you expected, oh yeah, it's all going to be at the bottom. No. Once again, it throws a curveball at you, and you got to try to use the height of the boxes in order to be able to easily jump up. So if you maybe have used too many boxes, you might not be able to get enough volition of jump to be able to get up there. So again, really test the player to think carefully ahead before making their actions. And that's another charm of this platform. And now, if I recall correctly, I've got to do this. Come back. Ooh, okay, so that's another thing about the swaps, actually, is that... Wait. Oh, yeah, that's what I have to do. Okay. Is that you kind of like keep your momentum as you, as you swap. So you have to be careful about like, what you're entering yourself into as you do swap. So here we go. Reason that we do that is that it explodes...
well, you did say it explodes.
It did, yeah. I'm a master of my words, apparently. Oh, okay. Careful for that one box there.
See, what I was doing in my head was I was making a rhythm for the projectiles. I'm like, and you went right as I heard in my head. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
So basically, it's on the half of the thwomp.
Indeed.
Now, there we go.
On the offbeat, as the musicians say.
I mean, you'd think that as a DJ and a musician that I should know this stuff, but I decided to go on the opposite half beat. It's just a natural state of affairs there.
Nico, were you rushing or were you dragging?
Both.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah. Don't worry, I was flat because I got crushed by the boxes.
Yes.
Anyway, joke done.
We're just
maybe
experiencing a wee bit of whiplash here.
Yeah.
Hey,
maybe I should sharpen up my skills. Musical references anyway. Even I hate myself for that one. Okay, all right. So, what is next? Oh God, just don't let me do bad puns. Seriously, like please.
You just got to augment your skills. How deep down this can we go?
That was a 7th out of 10.
Thank you. I do consider myself a bit of a natural at these.
You're really hitting the bass cliff right now.
I blame Kepler over in chat. They started us off with a bunch of puns, and my brain's just kind of been humming along with them ever since.
Good. That's how it starts, and that's how it should stay, really. Okay, right. Get ourselves over. Avoid that laser timing. Now, these ones here are fun because that's not how that should have happened. I have no idea what that laser just like chaotically just went like that. So we have to use our weight in order to be able to make those platforms move in place of the laser. Same for this little thing here. Really?
Yeah, it gave you a bit of a buzz cut as you passed by.
Okay, wait for a second, then go. There we go. Now, grab this little thing over here. This is one of those ones that stay in place, so you can swap at the appropriate timing.
Nice.
And then that was pixel perfect. Damn. Okay. Right. Now we're going to swap again. And swap. And get out the laser rotation. Easy peasy. Now, this is another fun timing sort of affairs as we encountered earlier on.
Oh. All right, then. Yep.
There we go. First try again. Oh, that's one of the tougher timings because, again, you have to predict how fast you're going to be falling towards that consistent loop as well. It is very challenging. Like, I keep on saying it. This is a fun, challenging game. Now you can see that I wasn't lying. So, this is why I say it's minimal lore. Outside of the levels that we go through, we get these, like, occasional logs for some of the scientists, some of the doctors. I believe, don't quote me on this, from the laboratory from which we were in the initial part of the game. And in this part here is going to be a case where we see when encounters laboratory leads a closing. Oh no, that's a soft lock.
Oh no.
Okay, we're skipping anyway.
See, I was going to jump in with the end of the very poignant note from the doctor there. Anyway, my time is up. Tell my wife I say hello.
I have no strong opinions one way or the other.
All I know
also
is
realize
my
that
gut
level
says next level.
Yeah. By the way, that level was incoherence. This is substance of me trying to fit it in. There we go. So, this is the one I don't have notes on. So, the only reason I put this in here is because, like, we can just about fit it in for about the hour and a half, but it's a very cool level. So, I am more inclined to show it off, if you know what I mean. And this kind of like, once again, it's throwing the kind of like the prior levels of like, you know, like it's kind of like boss rush kind of style where like, you know, you learn mechanics and then it gives you another level of like the mechanics again, but harder. So one of the things here, and I think a lot of the chats here will love me for this because I almost didn't include it because of time, but oh, come on. There is something that, you know, I don't want to spoil it. I just want to get to it, and then you'll see what I mean because it's I don't know if you've seen a tea tree. It's why am I struggling with these little? Yeah. So here's a new introduction. Fire bouncy orbs. and it's instantaneous death when you touch it. So you have to be very careful. I should also mention as well, the amount of checkpoints in this game is beautiful. This is actually, like, I've actually got the tracking and logging for like how many checkpoints that there is in each level, and I think as a minimum there's at least 30. And some of the bigger levels, there's like 50. So again, thank you, devs, for giving us like an immensity of checkpoints. It makes it so much nicer for the convenient for the average player. Right. So anyway, we are like, the most kind of important part of this is that it's kind of like really introducing to you about the fire elements of this of the stage. So like, you know, if objects hot, don't touch, essentially. That goes to true to real life. Don't touch hot things, okay? I mean, this is why. No, you can't pet the dog. I'm sorry. But those are what I like to call like little woof balls, or things that like are like a dog, and they yelp and but they bark. So can you pet the dog? It's not advised in this video game, but you can, but it might not be.
You can. Once.
Yeah, once, yeah. And here, this is why I introduced this level and kept it in, because of this little section here. It's just
the Spirited Away chase scene. Although I guess we're just not.
Yeah. Oh man, I want to watch Spirited Away again. I haven't seen that movie.
I highly recommend.
Damn. I love it. I love it. But yeah. Yeah, so again, that's the only reason I included it, is just, can you pet the dog? Oh, careful. Yeah, that catches you so off guard, and the explosive output is enough for it as well. So you have to kind of like be a little bit away, because you never know how physics works. Now, here's a fun little mechanic as well. We did see one of the lasers kind of like, you know, expanding and growing earlier on, but this time around it's kind of more hazardous than it needs to be, because it's in a very dedicated area. So you have to navigate your way out of it before it can extend to a certain point where any rotation of it will hurt, if that makes sense.
I want to touch you, friend. How you doing?
Doggy! Bye, doggy. God, they're so cute. Okay, so this becomes a very cool mechanic in the game later on, so I'm going to try to just do this and be very quiet when I do this, because it requires a lot of like concentration for this bit. Okay. About there is fine, good. Come back to this one. Don't you move it. You know what? That's fine. Thank you for moving it. No. That's bad. Well. That's not bad. That's good. Good. Backups.
Genuinely fantastic.
My heart
could not have asked for something that high.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this level here is, this bit here, you do actually technically get to play later on, which in a level that we won't be covering, because, again, time. But right now, we don't have the ability to, like, you know, slow down time or anything like that, like you saw in the intro trailer. So we have to do this as quickly as possible, avoiding all of those massive... Yes, you saw nothing. As quickly as possible. Same for this little bit here. You got to try to get over to this, like that little section there, as quickly as possible, and it is tough alongside with these exploding bits. Second try's not bad.
Stage from Mega Man.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. All right, let's see if I can do this one. So we got to try to put this in a place whilst it's revolving and not getting hit in the revolutions, to be able to fall down specifically. Now, when they come gyrate, whoa!
It makes me deeply nervous.
That bit there, when it kind of like forced me over that way for a second, that was a more more nerve-wracking than it should have been.
A Mario Party minigame feel to that one.
Yes, exactly. Now, here's some more precision platforming, but you can just kind of narrowly avoid it by going into the fiery orbs. I was trying to be smart, but then I realized, oh yeah, fall damage is a thing, so we'll go through naturally. Here we go. Perfect. And careful for this section. 2, 3. That should be fine. About 3 is fine, but if you make any sudden movements, then those could come bellowing at you, so you don't want to be able to do that. And,
okay. Well, that'll work. Or will it? Can we actually ride
sure?
the? No. Okay. I was saying, can we take the swing? No. Can we take the rope line down? But I guess we do need the.
I don't think you can actually. And you know what? That's the first time I've not done that. That's the first time I've just like said, "Oh, bye bye."
I saw you wiggle a little bit when you grabbed it, and I'm like, he's gonna end up without that ski lift platform, isn't he?
Yeah. Your predictions were almost correct. Almost. In fact, they were. Okay, so this bit here is a timely basis once again. So we've got to try to jump onto these when it's not moving. So here we go. Perfect timing.
As if this hadn't been Super Meat Boy enough already.
Oh, Super Meat Boy is a game I haven't played in ages. Now, this bit is a very big challenge.
Nice.
The main thing about this one is that like where you kind of like you land, you got to try to be able to
preserving that object's momentum, yeah.
Correct, but it's not even preserving momentum. It's like, you know, you're then choosing which way you need to go afterwards. So I could be holding left at that point, and then it will just you will end up jumping or going left, if you know what I mean. So,
gotcha.
my inputs went completely haywire in my head there, and I don't know why. Okay, try that one more time. So now I'm going to jump and then I'm going to dash. So you can see there's like that little window just before you like either face gravity or whatever it is to be able to make the informed decision of what you want to do. So again, challenging the brain, challenging the human inputting and your play abilities. There's so much going on. It's honestly incredible. Now, there is an oncoming laser. So we've got to try to avoid that very timely. But then we come across this and we can see that there's almost like a live mechanics and robots like, you know, surveying us, which gives us more of an indication of like it's not just a case that it seems desolate, that it does seem that there's like active more autonomy than we initially thought there would be. So, and we cleared that oncoming big ray of lava, easy peasy, and in we go. So that was all right. That was good.
As Jonathan Colton and GLaDOS once saying, this area does seem to want you gone.
Exactly. Oh my god, yes. Okay, I'm gonna skip this bit here. We don't need to do that. So that's just like from the very first level, we had the area where it has like an in-between level. We don't need to worry about it because it would just take us into Surrogate. Now, Surrogate, a very, very interesting level in towards the lore point, because we're not the human. We're not that protagonist guy from the laboratory experiment. We're a robot or some kind of like droid or like I don't even know how you say it. Like
some sort of
it's a word.
Bionic being, if you will.
Oh, are they in a bay?
Mayhaps.
Are they in my bay?
See, you've got very different physics now as well.
Yes, so we have no fall damage. Hooray! So we can actually use that majorly to our advantage. And we don't have the swap mobility that we had before. We have kick. Oh, I can't believe that, really?
We have kick. Game says, oh, do you? Boing.
Yeah. Let me kick back at you, babe. And that's pretty much what happened. So you saw that. But here's the fun. It's slow down time. So when you slow down, like turn off the slow down, as you can see, this is a good point in case to showcase. The speed regains of the moving whatever you like to call these things, and it can be instantaneous death depending on when you do respawn. Now I know it says 30 seconds on the timer, but it definitely is not 30 seconds. It is more like 15 to 10 seconds. It's very, very fast. So what I'm gonna do from here, this is fun and a big kind of like a level skip. So we're just gonna go all the way down past these little nanoplanets and we get to our destination. So we skip kind of like a tutorial for like how we should be able to use the kick momentum in order to be able to like turn things around and to get from point A to point B, but we can just skip that area completely. With this little kick mechanic here, we're gonna try to move this like this whole platform bit. Stop time just so that it doesn't move around for us. And there we go, cool. No, oh, that was almost a crush. Okay. That sound is so satisfying, by the way. It's so satisfying, just a doink. I think during my first play, I actually mentioned that. I was like, aha, I love that sound. All right, timely basis. So, you know when you mentioned earlier on that we'd use the box like to get on it to get from point A to point B? Mm-hmm. There we go.
Yeah.
it becomes much more feasible with slowdown mechanics. So again, you can do a good deal of things. And this bit here is very tough. So let's see if I get this first try as well. I die so many times. I'll be very amazed if I get it, but we'll find out. So what we want to do now is we've moved that little beam across. It's able to then stop the lava stuff coming through. And that's the first try. I am so thrilled myself.
Well done.
Oh my God.
Essentially running on lit charcoal briquettes.
Pretty much, yeah. So it kind of like, creates more of a solid platform for us to be able to navigate on. And fall down.
That is how fire walking works. If you don't stand on any part of it too long, or I guess if you have the ability to slow down time, then it won't burn you.
Oops. Exactly. Again, fire hot, don't touch. Do you want fire hot touch? Then don't. That's my takeaway from that. Okay. Oh, come on. I need to jump when I'm coming off it. That's what I need to do. Okay, so slow down time. Do it again. Oh, that was extremely close. Once again, we're going to slow down. We're going to kick, then slow down time immediately. Jump on top of it. It's going to take us away. Slow down time just before we get to it so that we don't incur these little rotating blades. Make our way forwards. That went pretty all right. Trying to think about what else to mention about this bit, because as you can tell, it's really showing you the inner workings of this bit. Now, I believe I move over to fling at this point. So that is the next level. So we can just skip forwards again. As we saw for those points of the logs, they are very rare and very occasional. Sometimes they're at the near end of the level, or sometimes at the beginning. And there is going to be, I think, maybe one. No, I don't think there is an instance where we show that. I might be wrong, but again, you really have to put one and two together without one being there in the first place. It's a very, very clever game for its storytelling. Now, this bit is trying to indicate to you that, hey, you can use that jump, the jumping mechanic to help you safely in a case if you are going to be doing a massive fall. You can kind of prevent that fall damage from occurring. And we are introduced to a brand new mechanic, which is basically bouncy lasers.
The friendly laser.
I don't know why I did that. I know I'm supposed to go over here and then swap. I genuinely wish I could tell you. Yeah, I wish I could tell you why I decided to do that, but you know what? Maybe I just decided to.
It was the dramatic
stop thinking for a second.
You introduced the friendly laser. You were waiting for the
exactly.
applause.
This is a very tight window. Oh my! That I almost got hit by that bomb, but at least I proved the point of getting hit by the bomb. So with these little bouncy lasers, as you can see, each side is sometimes pretty occupied by bombs. So it wants you to be very, very, precise again about where you are jumping to from the bounce. It's not just going to be a case of I'll just land here. It's you could land here, but it could spell you death. So you don't want to you want to be cautious. So here we go again. More precision platforming. I would take that slow. This bit is a bit of a pain. So here we go.
Yeah, we didn't hit the bumper that would have aggressively sent us back down. So,
yeah. So this is something else I was just about to mention, is that we kind of introduced now again to the difference of gravity.
Yeah, I can see it's moving from one to the other because of the relative gravity of that little planetoid.
Correct indeed. It's almost like you understand a bit about this game prior to you playing it. There we go. That's what the trailers are for, am I right? Definitely go check out the trailer on YouTube if you haven't already, and if you did miss the beginning of this run, go back and watch the trailer. It's really good. And I love the music for the trailer as well. It's awesome. So we're going to be taking one of these boxes, and whilst we are bouncing on here, the properties of the boxes don't have the same application to we do. That was a nice skip. Okay. You know what? I'll take that. That's cool.
That was really time, yeah.
Yeah, maybe so, actually. Okay, so
there'll be one more person who's watching the VOD. Nico reviewing the footage. How did I do that?
Sometimes I don't even know. So, going in the same line as physics, here's another seesaw, but this time it's a proper seesaw. So you have to use one of the objects that you can swap of a certain weight in order to be able to weight it down enough so that it won't counter our weight. Ergo, physics. Newton would be so happy, wouldn't he? I think That's correct. That was really good.
Nice.
Yo, that was a very big skip. That would save probably about maybe 10 seconds or so. So that was luck. That was genuine luck. I won't lie. Oh, sometimes like I'm finding cool things about this run, and I didn't even realize that I'd be able to. I say perform well, but we've seen the copious amount of deaths I've done already, so it's kind of nullified, really.
It's all relative.
So, yeah, neutral. It's fine. Yeah. Okay, now let's see if I can get this precise here. Ooh. Nice. You're meant to use one of the blocks to be able to explode those bombs at the bottom, but if you just pixel precisely go through it again, easy clap.
I mean, you see the glowy bit there. Why not jump for the glowy bit?
Exactly, but you know, sometimes you might overshoot it. Sometimes you might be a little bit far to the right. If you're good at platforming, then you won't have any issues. Now, I'm going to swap this again. Swap it again.
Oh, yeah, that's what I expected was going to happen when that. Boom.
Very close. One more time. There we go.
Nice.
And with this, we're going to be doing another big roll, dump, roll. Try to put it at a point so that we can easily jump over to it from this layer of the platform. And that helps us to get over from A to B. Now, here's something I was mentioned about the threats. Swap just at the appropriate time so that the single shots from those will get destroyed. And then we can navigate our way.
The next room.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Perhaps you have. I thought you might have gotten it ready to swap again in case you needed it, but I guess that is slower.
No, sadly not, because if you're too far away from a certain object, then it loses that attachment of the swap. So at that point, I think it would have been impossible. So I mean, it was a good thought nonetheless. But you know, that's kind of like one of the big limitations of this swapping mechanic is that you have to do it basically from what is on screen. Okay, here's the timing.
Definitely one of those mechanics that you learn by doing. Now that was very Sonic the Hedgehog coded. Yeah. I love it. It's just like it's satisfying when you hear just the constant like burring of definitely
of you of just that basically is the best way to explain it. Okay, so now we have to use our weight again in order to be able to do this. So I need to go over to the right hand side. Jump over to this one, jump over to this one, then we're good. I don't know if there's a faster strat for that one, but that's the safest one. Like, you know, if we're doing like a marathon save situation, that's the safest one. All right, so now we come across yet another body, as we mentioned, and it is another log from one of the doctors again. So if I recall correctly, the scientist mentions how there's a prior incident that his father went through and discovered a vessel that was very much like the TARDIS. And so it's so bigger than the inside than the outside, and it talks about how his father disappeared, probably in the same way as we, the protagonists, also disappeared from Earth, basically. So again, we've got to try to figure out, like, did we teleport? Did we transfer? Did we go to a different world? Is this like a different domain expansion, or whatever it is? I don't know.
Speaking of isekais, no, you're talking about first generation, second generation, third generation. I was thinking about Kepler's newest published game, Clair Obscur.
I adored. Okay,
generations.
Speaking of Clair Obscur, I am the guy who's made all the auto splitter tech for it at the moment. So
tremendous.
Speedruns undergov the game. I'm still working on it. I'm still working it to a point where we can track all the Pictos, all the Lumina, all the inventory that you can pick up through the game for splitting and tracking purposes. It's a lot, to say the least. So it's still actively being worked on, and it is the longest kind of form of like speedrunning tools that I've ever spent working on something. So Kepler, you've given me a lot of work. You've given me a lot of work. But at the same time, I love it so much. Oh,
love it. Love it more than that happening, to be sure.
Yeah. I'm not supposed to do this one anyway. I'm supposed to go to projectiles, so that's fine. That's fine. We're skipping it. Again, showcase. We don't have to do that level. It's fine. So again, we've only got about like 40 minutes left, I think.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah. So that should still be manageable to even show the potential ending as well. So if it does overrun, then we can cap it at 130. It's fine. Like it gives people more volition to see the ending for themselves anyway. Right, projectiles. So I'm going to quickly mention, whilst I'm gaming, what the prior levels that we skipped were. So, quick mention towards the levels that we're skipping, which was Turbulence, which has another log from the science, which refers to the egg from the beginning of the game, in which that the Kawari people from the Papo jungle were essentially robbed of that egg. And, you know, obviously they're pretty mad about it. And the laboratory are trying to crack into the egg. And after copious methods of trying to analyze it, obviously it wasn't the smartest move in the world. So, okay, 1 second, here we go. Ow. That was annoying. There's another little bit of lore I need to mention as well about one of the other levels. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it there. So, with projectiles, as the name implies, is heavily focused on a different form of projectiles through the game, mainly rockets that are gravitationally bound to nanoplanets in the levels. So, obviously, you can stand, you can crouch, all depending on the height of these planets. So, again, you do need to be a little bit careful. I am going to risk it for the chocolate biscuit. Very nice. Oh, okay.
Well done.
Be timely about that as well, because if those boxes hit you as you're falling, those could, you know, make you lose your physics, and then you'll just die, basically. Ooh.
Okay, see, this is what I was expecting the first showcases of this mechanic to be earlier, where you were effectively going to have to interrupt the cycles of things.
Exactly, yeah. So this one here is like, obviously, you can see that I'm trying to time it, but again, timing it amongst the revolutions of these rockets is very tough. Like, I struggle.
Nice.
That was really good, actually. Damn.
Okay, now you just have to learn how to do that consistently every time there is one of these, and you'll be good.
Exactly. I don't know how I'm going to be able to... I thought I died there.
I was wondering.
No. Okay. It's fine.
You almost willed that into being correct.
Look, we all jinx ourselves too much. It's commonplace as a speedrunner. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. All right. So, a lot of fun about this game as well is that, like, you know, we get... I knew that was there. I knew that was there. That's also fun as well. It's like avoiding bombs. Is that we get to slide down things a few times as well. And obviously, if we're holding onto a side, usually, we don't incur too much fall damage. So we definitely do use, like, you know, edges to our advantage. So we're going to try to swap this here whilst also avoiding the projectiles again, which now this block here has stopped the projectiles from going through. And pops your uncle. There we go. Again, first time around when you find these puzzles, they are very challenging to figure out, like, the solution. But once you know, it's extremely satisfying to pull up each and every time. Right, here we go. Oh, close. This bit is so treacherous. Okay. Okay. There is no stopping that one. There is no stopping that one because, again, we don't have the slowdown mechanic. As a human, we don't. When we return back from being the android or robot version of ourselves, we lose that kick. We lose that slowdown time up until a later stage. But oh, nice backup.
Definitely intended.
Keep the spawning. All right. Here's what I'm going to say for this one. Be very careful whilst you're on this, because when you're preparing to go for that last laser there of the of this, when you're swapping, you can see how it kind of changes position a little bit. So you want to make sure that, like, if you're depending where you are on the on that vessel, your swapping ability will change, like, sometimes change the direction of which way it's flying. So you want to be very cautious. Now, this is a bit of a very, like, very accurate one there that you have to kind of, like, time it just before it explodes onto the other side and then swap. The amount of times that you can accidentally let it, let it explode, and then you lose any kind of chance of doing it. You just have to, like, fall off the edge to kind of reset. It's very easy to let that happen. Now, this bit is tough. What is the safest way to do it? Grab these two little things over here. Make sure that you don't activate that laser. And then we use the volition of the bounce to get us through those 3 blue beams in a very quick timing so that we don't die.
Yeah, I imagine those are, like, proximity activated.
Well, it's, yeah, essentially, yes. Proximity, and it's, like, trigger activated, yes.
So as you pass through the first one, they all turn on?
Yeah, pretty much. No. It's only the first one. Each blue beam is each red laser, basically. I'm just going to double check that this is the one we got to do. It's gravitation. Yes, this is the next level we have to do, which is gravitation. And again, very synonymous with the name of what we got to do is that we're now introduced more so to the effects of gravity, which is something that we live with on a day-to-day basis, actually. Go figure, right?
You've wrapped your head around everything the game's thrown at you so far. You've made many split-second cycles. You're getting comfortable with how to play the game. But what if you weren't?
Exactly.
What if we gave you more to do?
It's almost like this game has many different levels that it constantly tests and tries at you, and that even if you think you're comfortable, you're not. So the consistency of the challenges in this game is another reason why this game, as a platformer against the many different platformers that are out there, I think excels in different ways. And I don't know, like, I forgot that one doesn't have. You can tell which ones are and aren't. Well,
yeah,
it's time.
This is honestly, this is what I was expecting with these. The first time we saw them, I was expecting them to start introducing puzzles like this.
Yeah, so now this is very much so. So you can tell by that the way that it's been held that it wasn't exactly the most stable. Right. Now we got to be very cautious.
Or more likely you won't tell the first time you do it, and then you'll realize afterwards.
As is was my first playthrough as well. I did the exact same thing. Okay, so here we go. Got to be very quick about this one. Good, there we go, done. Okay, this is why I like this stage a lot and why I wanted to showcase it as well, is that where you are positionally on these things is a direction, like, opposite that it will take you. So if you hang on to the side here, then jump across, go all the way around and keep on hanging to the side. Yeah. It's still scary, even though I know what I'm doing, it's still very, very scary.
I don't know about anybody else, but I loved playing with the spring-loaded door holders when I was a kid. It's basically what these are.
I was like, spring-loaded door. Oh, boy, that's the one.
That's what we're doing here.
Look, even as a 33-year-old grown adult, I still love it.
Fair.
Don't let the fun of our childhood stop us as an adult ever.
No, absolutely.
We're all still chaotically young at heart. Am I right? Okay, now we're doing the same kind of mechanic again, but here's the next kicker. It's falling down, and then when you get towards a certain point, there's no near planet that we can just literally easily jump over towards. How are we going to be able to do that? Physics. So we're going to try to get over to this one here, and we're going to come back around.
Come on.
And then go through it one more time. And then jump. Damn, nice. That was a really big jump, actually. Okay, careful for this one. Lovely stuff. So there was a load of bombs down there, so you can use that propulsion of the opposites, the inverted gravity of where you're positioned on the nanoplanet to hit the bombs whilst you're jumping away from the explosive territory.
If you get a jump that good, like you did it on from the first to the second orbit, I wonder if you could keep the momentum going quickly enough to fly over the bombs.
That's actually a pretty cool strategy I didn't think about, but I'd say very scary.
Yeah, I believe it. The idea of getting a consistent setup for that seems unlikely, but the speedrun community will always surprise you.
I mean, the matter of fact that this run is about like 2 hours 15 already for the load move time is very, very, like, you know, it can still be done, like, you know, even better, by the way. Like, you know, like there are a few deaths in the world record run. So I'd say probably about like a maybe 2 hour run. I think that this is what I'm talking about, the checkpoints. You can, like, you know, go further into like what would be a checkpoint and die, and then you respawn at that checkpoint just like that. This is why I love the developers. The checkpoints are so lovely.
For sure.
Especially when speedrunning.
Yeah, I mean, you take this and there are segments of this that look like what they call masocore platformers, the kind of things where really the expectation is to fail repeatedly until you either you're casually playing, you probably brute force your way through, or if you figure out a consistent strat. You know, for Super Meat Boy in particular, like I mentioned earlier, you know, Deathless has only become a reality like relatively recently, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Or maybe like, wow. I think in 100% maybe it still hasn't even happened yet. It's like very close to 0.
That's impressive. I generally thought, like, you know, that would have been figured out a while ago. Like, not discounting the runners, but like to hear that's only been figured out recently, that's wild. And that game's been out for how long now?
I could be mistaken. The difference there could be like live/marathon runs versus generally. I went to make a quick look on the distinction there, but I didn't see anything definitive. I know it's been a project of Shredberg's over the last year or two. But yeah, this seems like the kind of game where a deathless run is a big achievement.
I'm wanting to see a deathless run. I haven't seen one yet, but I'd be very curious to see one. Now, one thing I'd be very curious as well to see if this could be tassable, because again, like everything does seem like it's you know, at the mercy of the player at times, and like, you know, the order of the like, you know, the patterns and stuff like that could be dependent when the game loads in. I'm curious. I'm extremely curious about like how it could work. I mean, if anybody's down for like, if anybody's good at tassing and you would like to take on a project, this game could be very cool to see as a tool as this is speedrun. So yeah. Right, I think I'll skip this one here. So we're not doing nanoplanets. We're going straight to liquid. Okay, so right, where are we at? 1 hour and 2 minutes. Okay, lovely. So skipping over nanoplanets, which is another level where nanoplanets contain, where the nanoplanets, instead of containing full gravity, like we saw in the prior level, has a light emitting outside of it of like a gravity attraction. And with liquid, what we're doing is we're trying to go through this little water passageway without trying to die. So we can see here that there's loads of like bombs in the way. So whilst our body is chaotically flailing around, we still have to try to eagerly navigate through it and use again the art of physics.
Chat, you like water levels?
Well, it's at least there's no water temple, so that's fine. And I think this is like the only hold on. I was nearly stuck there for a second. Okay, there we go. That was a very slow passage out there. That's fine. Right, so yeah, the main property of this one is about how liquids can be affected. It could be in the case of like, you know, if water touches fire, the water becomes very hot. If water touches something cold, it becomes very icy. And we get to see a prime example of that right now, actually. Here we go. So take over this box here. Drop it in place of where we want to navigate to next. And as we make our way over to the box, because it's realized we put a box in the water, we can see that those little fiery ball orb thingamajiggies now have made this a steaming hot pile of liquid hot magma.
So if we had any Terminators around.
I won't lie, I haven't seen Terminator today, just so that goes a little bit over my head, but I did make a very astute Austin Powers reference, so, you know, movie references. Yeah. Easy peasy. Ah, I should have done the laser beams attached to their heads. I should have done that ages ago, man. Like,
right?
It's only just now occurred to me. Jesus.
Freaking laser beams.
Laser beams attached to their heads. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about the. Whoa! Nice save, I guess.
Yeah, that's definitely
the intended route. Yeah. So let's talk about the red and the green as we see. So the green is now giving us like a more solid platform for us to actually navigate on. And the red, you touch it, that's no bueno. So don't touch the red.
We take those?
That works.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, again, physics sometimes backfires in splendid ways that advantage us. So I will happily take.
The level took care of it for you.
It's just more reasons why I love this game, because you could have done this so many times.
Tasks are so often full of like swag strats, the little things that a human couldn't reliably do.
Yeah.
It'd be so fun to see portions of this just like turned into an auto scroller.
Oh my god, right. That would be awesome, actually. Here we go. Good. Nice. All right. So that's another fun thing. So those lasers are generating these elements of water, or they're attracting the water and then converting it into the green solid platforms. Again, we don't quite know which way around it is, so it's kind of like, again, for us to determine exactly what's going on here, really. I'm trying to remember what happens here, actually, because oh yeah, these little liquids here, they're kind of like explodey balloons, if you want to be realistic about like what they're like. So the moment that like the feign of touching, it's kind of like immediately implodes. But you saw early on in the other levels that we kind of went into the same kind of like black goopy liquid that's helped to prevent us from taking the full damage.
Yeah, it was at the
it's
bottom.
Very much the inverse.
Kind of, an airbag situation.
Yeah. Well, very, very thin veiled airbag, so it's not exactly the greatest. Right, let's see if I learnt this strat here just before stream. So, the stream, this live stream right now. So let's see if this works.
Going on a ride. Almost saved it.
So you're meant to be able to use these objects in order to be able to help you, like, go through the red liquid. So, for ages, I didn't quite realize that, even during my my playthroughs and stuff like that. Oh, I've lost my. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Jump across. Go onto it, and depending when you where you place it, can have a difference of effect of like what happens here. So you see that we managed to land
we're going further
on
to
that
the right
beam there.
Go around.
There we go. Lovely stuff. Okay, so second try. Not bad, actually. And same for like anything that's kind of floating as well. You can put it in spots of where the beam would be. So you can see... all
right, and how do we get around this?
Not well.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's what we can do. More advantage. And you think it's all over it, but no, you have to go the above platform. So you have to use the outer edge of the green goop in order to again give you that leverage upwards, and then there you go. Right, and this is now going to lead us into like another level where we could turn back into the robot, but we're going to be skipping over it and skipping over quite a few. The main reason for that is that, again, like, sure, it'd be cool to showcase some of them as well, but we are limited for time. So I'm going to do a big spiel right now. We're skipping over Vanguard, which lets us back through the game. But as the robots, we have more capability of being able to easily navigate through the once harder obstacles, but with the slow down time mechanics, being able to clear things easily. We're also skipping the level rendezvous, which is a big lore moment of the game, which tells us that we've definitely been transported into another world. However, the Wi-Fi antenna of the 1 second, I'll just swap through these and pause. Yeah, the Wi-Fi antenna of one of the doctors was still weirdly connected to the laboratory. So even though we have been teleported somewhere around the world, we still have internet connection. Why? That's a very big question. We also skip over the level superposition, which is another big sort of challenge level of the prime mechanics, but with tougher and more frivolous threats, but also introduces portals, iconically the blue and orange colors of portals, as we all know from the game Portal. And now Magnetic teaches us that certain devices require power in order to be able to activate its mechanics of magnetism. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing now. Now, this is a bit of an, like, I'd say it's a little bit arduous because, like, you've got this whole way that you got to go around through the portal, as you can see right there, in order to be able to bring that little sort of like electrical battery pack over to where it's needed. Yeah, the capacitor, battery pack.
Battery pack suggests it would hold a charge. A capacitor is basically the opposite, higher immediate wattage, but it can't hold. So it has to be connected to that electrical. That's just my guess based on what I'm seeing here.
We'll go with what T-Tree says. That sounds smarter than what I could ever say. So yeah, when you swap, then you have to go all the way back around. So it's kind of like,
of course.
You lot can understand what I mean by it's a little bit arduous. Oh no! Whoa! No backups. I'll take the backups. I will take the backups. But here's why it's arduous. If you die in a second, you have to do it all over again. Yep.
You don't get checkpoint.
So you got to be very careful here. And we can slow down time as well. So I'm going to do that right. No, that like, you know the thing I said try not to do? Yeah, I do it.
I did hear that.
This is why I should stop saying words, because they usually come true.
Commentator curse still counts if you're self-commentating.
That's, you know what? That's, yeah, highly accurate. Highly accurate. Am I mad at myself? Always.
Not
Stay
mad, just disappointed.
Stay true. Oh, don't you give me that statement, man.
Sorry, I'm not trying to tell you how to feel.
So you know when you mess up, it's just, I'm not mad,
Right.
I'm just disappointed. It just makes it so much worse,
Look, I was
doesn't
trying
it?
to take your mind off it at the end of the day. You're going to
And
nail
you did,
this
you made me
time.
giggle, so
It'll be
thank
fine.
you. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now, one more time. Itch my eye before we do it.
Yeah, let it start just a little bit later. so
Slow
you're
down
on your
time.
cycle here.
There we go. We just avoided before he gets cryogenicized, well, however you say that word, and then you're good. Now, this one is very, like, you have to do this very quickly, and I'll explain why in a second. And I think I've messed up the cycle already. Yeah, so you can see that, like, second laser beam that comes up and starts taking over the rain. There is no way to avoid that, so you have to be very, very, very quick about this. And this is where, like, you know, tight platforming comes to play. Perfect.
Yeah, got to make it through before the cycle ends on you.
I almost hit that dice beam there. That was far too close for my liking. Oh my god! I'm happy that was like second try anyway.
Yeah,
now
sure.
these little bits here explode into ice beams,
Of course.
so try not to touch them. Get down. Oh, I just lost timing at the end there. That was a bit dissatisfying. So here we go again. In fact, let's be a pro gamer. Do it without stopping down time. I've done it once already. It's possible. Whoa.
Oh, that
Okay.
counts. Once more.
Nice.
One lap.
There we go. Pro gaming skills.
Very nice.
So you can do it the intended strat. That's you know what? That's not that works actually. I haven't tried this without slowing down time, but you know what? If I show off too much, then the commentator's curse is going to happen
Right.
again, isn't it? So I'll take a chill. Ooh. Then take a chill, literally.
Yeah, a bit much of one. So these are highly agitated like nitrous oxide canisters.
You know what this makes me think of? Batman and Robin with the Iceman. Ice to see you.
Be cool, good boy.
Yeah, exactly.
What killed the
I don't know why this ran.
The Ice Age. All right, well, I've debased myself. Actually, no, I haven't debased myself enough. You're going to see that happening next during the Windblown run.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't checked out Windblown, that is an amazing, amazing game. Like, I played that with Argic a while back, like upon like launch of the early access, I think it was, and it is such a gem of a video game. It's so much fun. Ow. So be sure to watch the next one. Genuinely, I highly urge you lot. It's fast-paced. It's a very big speedrunner game, and I'm very, very stoked for when the full game comes out at some point. I definitely know me and Argic more than likely will be collaborating again to play the full release, and
you absolutely should.
yeah, like it'll be awesome. Okay, this bit can kind of, I was gonna say this bit can kind of suck because
Yeah, I can see how.
if I recall, yeah. So I think this is the one where you have to be very, again, pixel perfect. All right, I'll just go back around then, all right? Okay, well, at least we regained our slowdown time back a little bit. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about
Get
here.
crushed? That's good. We take those.
You have to... What?
Okay, well.
Okay, that's never happened before.
me
I
on
will
the
be very
commentator's
upfront about
curse.
that.
You got crushed on the way down.
Just a load of random box that just comes through and wrecks our day. I've never seen that before. That's hilarious. All right, this time it won't happen. In fact, we'll get more velocity out of it. There we go. So as you saw, like, as we kind of like went downwards, there is the chance that you might not be positionally aligned, and then you'll hit the edge, and then you have to go all the way back up to the top to do it. You have to go through that portal in order to be able to gain the next checkpoint.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, like, even if you have the right momentum, you might just be thrown a little bit to the right, basically, and that's Murder, She Wrote, basically. It's
These pop culture references.
Again,
I feel like you're just gonna have
I'm
like
not
a
even
TV
trying,
and
it
movie
just
night
happened.
sometime soon.
it just comes naturally within my brain. I don't know why. Just my brain is a cacophony of references and nostalgia. That's That's me in a nutshell. Help him in a nutshell.
Sure.
Austin Powers again. See, I could stop.
Well, where would be the fun in that?
Exactly. All right, so water, another fun mechanic as we saw earlier on. However, this time we got to try to avoid the ice water in order to be able to get.
It's so good for hydration.
Water.
It's fine. You made it work. Definitely intended. Oh, okay. Now we're running across the platform that's disappearing as the ice overtakes it. Fantastic. Love that for us.
Now this bit is a bit of a pain.
Nope.
This one is very easy to die in, so don't worry if you die here. It's commonplace.
Yeah. I could kind of feel you doing the nervous stamp, like the, oh, well, when are we going to jump? We're not going to jump.
Yeah. I still don't know. Okay. Let's try it again. Now, because of time, actually, no, this is fine. The next level that we're going to is about 12 minutes-ish.
That's what you've got.
Yeah, so I might skip onwards, actually. Okay.
Let's just get this first. There we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah, so we'll skip onwards just because we don't have a lot of time. This is about a 12-minute level for Monumental, so we skipped over a few things like levels like Polarity, which main core is a beam ray constantly aiming at us, which inverts our polarity and makes us extremely heavy. We skip a level called Vector, which is an important stage which gives us the ability to change the axis of the gravitational field with the chrono lag glasses, and the level prior does a big tutorial about it. I say tutorial, but like a big stage about it, but we'll show it to you right now. Hey,
remember how aggressive and active the physics in this game have been? What if you could do that on command?
Exactly, and it's more treacherous than you thought.
Saying, is that better or worse? See, you do that. Yeah, absolutely. like especially as we're skipping levels, like you have to learn a whole new input, straight away, you know what I mean? So forgive me if I'm not as not at all.
Oh.
Is it better or worse when you have a higher confidence that the issues that unfold are your fault?
Well, everything's my fault anyway, so it's fine.
I see.
All right, there we go. Okay. All
right. Downward ho.
So let's talk about this. When you land on a platform, you regain your charge. You do have the ability to do 2 swaps in midair. Oh, come on, really? Yeah, you do have the ability to do... I said this is going to be about 12 minutes,
do you want to maybe separate out the explanation and the execution part? Would that be helpful?
You know what? I like that idea. Let's do it.
Let's do the execution first, and then we'll explain what happened after.
Land on the platform. You get 2 charges back. Flip once.
Okay.
Then we can do it again. And again, you just touch aside, and that's all you need to do. So it's it gets more scary as we go through. So we're going to do it again. Try to regain that touch there. Oh, now I'm just thinking of, you're out of touch, I'm out of mind, because this bit really sucks a lot. That's the end of the song. Okay, right, here we go.
But
skip
it is
time.
On my mind.
I see what you did there. Okay, I'm gonna just focus on this for a second here. It's so scary. And I told you that's why it's scary, because it's so easy to forget which way is turning left and which way is turning right.
Direction? I guess I'll find out.
Flip me, I'm a flip reverse it. Oh my god, I did it again.
You drop your thing down,
again.
Flip it and reverse it, as they say.
And now you just got to try to say it backwards, don't you?
No, I don't.
Because for those who don't know, the lyrics after that song by Missy Elliott is the same passage
phrase, but backwards.
Yeah, it's clever and good.
You realize that
now
outside of us and maybe Kepler, no, the average viewer in chat doesn't know that song.
Oh, we're getting old. Oh,
yeah, these things happen.
Yeah, getting old happens as well.
That's what I meant, actually.
I feel like that was like because I'm just saying, oh, we're getting old. It's like, I'm just gonna wreck your day now. Yeah. Great. You said you're old. Feel the pain. Anyway, so we are coming up towards the very end of the game, by the way. So you can hear the music is getting more elemental, more like you know, more ominous sounding as per like end levels would be and such. And it kind of like throws a major curveball at you very, very soon. Don't want to spoil it too much just yet because, again, for the lack of story, it's still really clever. Like it leaves you on such a cliffhanger and you're just like, what could be next? So I'm hoping for some kind of maybe Bionic Bay 2. I'm sure all of us would love that as well. If you have played through, be like, oh, I want more story told. Kepler Interactive, Bionic Bay 2, when, please? I'd love it.
I mean, this game is a labor of love from a relatively small team, isn't it? Like, the original inspiration is from a solo developer, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's correct, actually. Yes, I believe that's correct. Oh, okay. I need to focus up here quickly.
By all means.
Ooh. Oh, okay. You have to hit the bottom lasers, otherwise that's enough fall damage to incur, basically. Like, you know, how far you're falling down in order for fall damage to occur. So you have to be very careful about this bit. And I'm trying to do like marathon safe strats as well, and even with that, it's still, you know, it's still a lot, if you know what I mean. Okay. That's fine. Good. Let it recharge. Good. That should be enough. And there we go. You can see how tough that is, right? Like, one false move, and that just... I'm going to go back, actually.
You were saying.
Yeah, one false directional move as well, and that could send you flying. And I'm going to rotate myself around here. We need to be this way of rotation, but again, even if we just land on a single platform, that's enough for us to just, like, secure the recharge, basically. It's like it's an instantaneous touch to recharge.
A bit of a good news, bad news situation for you, Nico. Kepler Interactive says that Bionic Bay 2 can be in development once you put up a deathless run. So.
Wow. Yep. All right, bet. I'll learn it. If they are toying me with that sentiment, I shall oblige. How dare you? Because you know, Kepler Interactive knows me well. If they set me a challenge, I'll do it straight up. Also, you can see by though changing the gravitational axis, all the platforms in the background are also changing as well. Now, can I get this good? Okay, not yet. Hold on. Oh, pain. Yeah, as Railcoon says, you might be underestimating me. I play a game with weird controllers. I played the Undertale on a bicycle controller, which you can find also on Games on Quix's YouTube VODs. Nice plug.
I think you got a more important plug to avoid right now, which is the one that's shooting that electricity. Oh,
there we go. Good. Nice. All right. It's nice when, like, you know, the first if you're doing that rotational move and you are doing the 180 spin, that if you do mess up a tiny bit, then you still have that one singular move to be able to bring back your safety ish. Okay, now I've just got to try and remember what we do from here. Okay, so these are basically checkpoints, but, like, you know, you won't be able to go back through them again because you've just activated electrical bits. But this is where the main kind of like the story confusion happens a little bit. So as we have throughout the game, we kind of become like a robot in turn. This time we get to be the human and see the robot on the other side at the same time. And it's kind of like, okay, surely we could either be one or the other, but no. Here are a ton of surrogate robots that have just been actively transported throughout the level 4, I guess, like, you know, surveillance, you know, is it in good order? Is it ready to go? I might be able to skip it here. Ah, boy. I tried my luck. Okay. And you're still wondering, like, what is happening? Like, what is the purpose of all of this? And again, we still don't really know. Okay, I need to focus for this bit. This is like a escape sequence. It is so easy to die here as well, so...
We've gone from Spirited Away to the segments of Stray, where you get chased.
Oh my god, I love Stray. So good.
Wow, that one got flung towards you.
And each time you reset it, you know, the properties of each of the objects will change. It's never static.
Yeah, no,
so
this one you aren't in nearly as much danger.
Oh, come on. Where are we at for time? Okay, about 3 minutes-ish.
You've got this, gamer.
I think we might just be able to see the ending, actually. If we play well from here. Or depending if we are able to run over by like a minute or something like that, maybe. Oh, come on. Okay. Careful. Oh yeah, by the way, we can't stop time here at all. Oh, come on. Yeah, that's the thing about this. We can't stop the time or anything. We can't slow it down. All of this has to be one successive, like, fell swoop of an attempt, and that's what makes this bit very challenging. Whoa!
All right.
I narrowly avoided that bomb there.
Bounce from the. Oh no! Too much hang time.
Come on.
Dad, I need you to give Nigo your energy.
So about that deathless run, right?
Ted, I need you to I need you to slip Kepler Interactive a tenner to make this slightly easier. No, I'm kidding.
I'll say after TwitchCon, the deathless attempts begin. That's all I'll say. I'll make a declaration now about it.
And imagine carrying a deathless to this point in the run.
Oh, and then it just all goes for naught. Very possible. Very possible. All right. Oh, okay, but we did hit a checkpoint. Okay, we did hit a checkpoint. Thank you, Blue Laser. Ooh. Ooh, yeah.
I got some good goosebumps from the audio there.
There we go. All right. Now, fun fact, I actually died just underneath that that little platform, that bottom big row there, just because it crushed me. I don't know how it happened. All right. If you would be so kindly to allow me to get to the ending, we are literally about like a minute or two away. If that works for you, or do we cap it out? Okay, cool. Right. As we come towards near the end, we find the director of the laboratory dangling some cables on a structure, saying how we were totally incompetent workers, yet we followed all the regulation steps for safety, and how they spotted something colossally, well, he spotted something colossically magnificent in this world. And then we're going to platform on towards the final platforms, and we start to get slowly brought into like one of those like sequences where we don't have to touch the keyboard. It shows everything for us. And as we move in, we see a massive robotic hand that is at least probably like 100 times the size of us, the apparent incompetent employee of that laboratory. So we slowly meander, and I'll call time in a second. It'll be IGT time as a heads up. I'm going to skip all my splits up towards the point.
Just a brief moment of the evoking the creation of Adam there, the famous painting.
Oh yeah, that's true. Actually, I forgot about that. I'll say you can make your own interpretations about the Lord. That's the great thing about it. So that's a nice thought. Now you see that little moving thing in the top right corner there. Okay, guess it's in the chat. What is it? What is it?
It's another playthrough of this game. It's enticing you to get over.
All right, time will be coming up now. Big doggy!
All right, then.
You might be able to pet that dog, but I don't know. But that's the end of the game, so you can't. But that is Bionic Bay. Obviously, we have not shown quite a few of the levels. Like I say, we only showed you what I feel like is some of the best to showcase. But there's a lot more to explore. There's a lot more to figure out. played this game, it is an absolute gem of a treat. It's an absolute gem. It's an absolute treat. I totally recommend it. And thank you to Kepler Interactive once again for putting me onto this game as well, and for having me as a consistent showcase on the Bionic Bay Steam page, which you can watch right now, actually. I've been on there for a month. Outside of that, thank you, T-Tree, for having me on for this segment of the Kepler Interactive Showcase. And again, if you do want to find where I'm at, you can find me on Nico Hot on Twitch and on YouTube, and all the other social medias are usually either Hello Nico Hot or for Blue Sky, NicoHot.com, because hey, we get URLs. Yeah, that's me. And then I've got not much else to say. You've got a lot more of the Kepler Interactive Showcase to do. So,
indeed. But thank you so much for being
take it away,
on board
buddy.
with this, and for conceiving of and putting together this whole showcase. You did a tremendous job putting together something that came in right at a great length to show people a little bit of everything that the game had to offer. So I'm very grateful, and it was a pleasure working with you.
Likewise, buddy. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. But don't go anywhere. Like we mentioned a couple times during that run, we're going to have more fun from Kepler Interactive coming up next. And up next is a race between a good friend of mine, an SGDQ 2025 runner, Zenadir, and some numpty named Ada Tree. That doesn't seem right. In any case, we are looking forward to bringing you several runs of Windblown coming up right next after a short break. Stay tuned, everyone. My name is T-Tree, and we are excited to bring you another amazing game from the creators of Dead Cells, Motion Twin. Windblown is a lightning-fast action roguelike currently available in early access on Steam and is being created with a huge amount of feedback from the community. Myself and the other runner available for this run have actually been part of that feedback process, along with several other people in the GDQ community that I've seen playing the game. So we've got 2 runs prepared for you today. The first is going to be a race on the Stormy difficulty, the 3rd out of 5 that you can unlock, with myself and Zenadir. Zenadir, how you doing, my friend?
Starting to hit me in the best way possible. I definitely did a practice while in the green room right before this, and I'm pretty sure I used all of my good luck on it. So it's going to be
that'll happen.
Time.
Yep, that'll absolutely happen. But yeah, I think the short pitch for this game is what if Motion Twin, what if the Dead Cells devs made Hades, but also it moved? Because you can just, once you unlock the ability to do this dash, which is technically a progression upgrade, but then you get to the point where you can just hold the button, and if you're moving between valid spots, you will just zoom. Alrighty.
I was unlocking the skins finally.
Very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to talk about the latest updates then?
Oh, all right. So the last update before this was the Sanctuary update. It was fantastic. It introduced a whole new biome, which has new enemies, new boss, several new weapons. The update that we just got, which was a very fast beta cycle, is called From the Leapers. It's a lot of quality of life additions. It was a lot of feedback from the community that went into it. And of course, it dropped 3 new skins. Difficult to get, time-consuming, the tiger, the rabbit, and the jay, which we've seen in the game for a while now, but I was wondering when it would finally, be added. The biggest thing that was added, in my opinion, is the memory deck, which there was this fancy obelisk in the back that's just kind of been sitting here the whole time, and now it was added, so we can go and actually cater our loadouts a lot more, so you can unlock everything and decide, well, I like all of this, I don't like this. I can kind of carve it down a little bit and help my odds in the run to really cater my individual taste, which I think is so good. I'm so happy with this as an update. They could have literally just dropped this and only this, and I'm like, great update.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so for the sake of our runs, we're each going to take kind of a version of the overall number of weapons, sub-weapons, gifts, and things of that nature that we enjoy. So you're going to see each of us kind of running our favorite version. I'm just checking real quick since I mentioned it to make sure that an item that I don't want is not there.
Good call.
And then we're going to follow that up with a co-op run with another good friend of ours. So we'll fill the maximum party size of 3 leapers for our second run and take the difficulty up another notch. But this difficulty is going to be plenty scary enough with the 2 of us running solo. There is no backstop. There is technically a revival method available if you're playing in co-op. But if either of us take fatal damage here, that'll probably be it. That all said, are you ready to go, Zen?
Yeah, I'm gonna try I'm gonna stick with the tiger skin for the first time. I am ready. We're on Stormy for sure.
Yep.
All right, are you gonna count us down 3, 2, 1, go, or just 3, 2, 1?
Yeah, so we'll hit the Y button to hit begin expedition. We'll hover over whichever zone we want to be in. We'll probably each take the zone that is boosted, whatever that may be for us. And then, yeah, I'm going to say 3, 2, 1. We'll hit the destination and we'll start the timer then.
All right.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, let's go. What was yours? I got Gollum.
Same.
Oh, wow. Okay, so we got the easier one right off the top. That was actually, oh, wow.
Ooh,
all right, never mind.
loadout.
My luck isn't used. Yep.
Nice.
I have Goo Bomb, Boomerang, Hibikis. It's a game now.
Nice. I've got Anchor Boom Sisters, and then Ice
Damn it,
Bomb
Scythe.
and Fire Aura.
Let's go. Okay.
What'd you get?
I got Damage Scythe as my first gift, too. This is a
Nice.
good one.
I got Critical Trinkets, which is also going to be great.
Yeah. We should probably explain what all encounters mean.
Yes,
'cause it was
absolutely.
Our own little creation. Oh, come here.
So all encounters is a kind of custom category that we've made because we wanted to be able to show off more than just an any percent run is essentially like in a lot of other games of this nature. Most encounters are technically optional. So what we decided to do was we're going to run through the game, but we're going to try to find every side room. We're going to do every optional content combat encounter, and you can still, with some good luck, finish a run like that in 30 minutes or less, even by yourself.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Going to take a quick money boost.
Oh, there you go. I already had a forced encounter, and now I have an optional gate that I'm jumping into. I really like all encounters because it's definitely the best way to practice. I haven't played the highest difficulty in a while, but I wanted to the other night just to see where I was at. Another boomerang already. And I managed to do it my first try, which Cataclysmic in the past was pretty brutal because the numbers are pretty cranked, to say the least. Get over, already dead. This is great stuff for me.
Gloves that apply goo. Yeah, I'll take those.
Hey, I like goo. I saluted Goo Blast while we were waiting because I see an optional path I've never seen before. It's got a chest.
Yeah, so you're just seeing fundamentally different combat styles and options from each of us because, we don't have seated available to us just yet. That is maybe the next thing on our wish list as speedrunners. But
so helpful.
Giving you a great opportunity to show off just how quickly your combat style can change, because you're going to want to get different weapons, but what weapons become available to you from enemy drops is going to dictate a lot of how your style changes, how much you move towards enemies, what kind of lucky drops you get. All of that kind of dictates how you play your way through each stage. And as Zen has shown off, how many different side levels become available to you. Like, I had a side room, but it was just a chest. It wasn't actually an encounter.
Which, I mean, that's the optimal choice in this point.
Yeah, kind of.
You don't want to have all of the actual encounters, but it's not a bad thing, of course, to have them because you have more opportunities to get currency and potentially boost gift. My cat has officially rejoined the chat. There we go.
Ashling.
Now I have a blessing in my game. This is a good
Fantastic.
time. All right. So combat fundamentals, let's go into. You're going to have 2 weapons and 2 trinkets at all times. And the biggest thing you're going to be doing, generally speaking, in the game with your weapons is you'll do one combo with your first one, and then you get to alter attack with the second one. Alter attacks are very strong. And they also, for the most part, come with pretty good iframes, which is where a lot of your combat's going to be based. It's very strong, and the safety is always there. I love Hibikis, the umbrella I'm using specifically, because the iframes are pretty substantial, and so is the damage. It applies status like crazy as well. Such a big fan of this weapon. And then your trinkets are like really fantastic support on top of that. There are some damage trinkets, there's some utility trinkets. They're all really good in their own right, and trinket builds are very strong in Endless, which is literally designed to break. They want you to break the game in Endless, so trinket builds become infinitely more valuable the further you play, in my opinion. Come here.
Yeah, there are trinkets that scale off your base damage, which actually had to be rebalanced relatively shortly after we did our AGDQ showcase and showed off how some trinkets could potentially be abused, you might say. But so base damage has been kind of changed around to make the first playthrough of your run more balanced. But the base damage scaling goes so high because weapons level up the later you get them, or if you use a special shop to empower them. And so eventually your base damage becomes so high that anything that scales off of base damage just becomes like the most powerful way to play, bar none. All right, I'm just finishing up the first section and getting into doing a little bit of shopping afterwards. How are you doing, Zen?
I am also in the shop right now.
Nice.
I got my chest, which is another fantastic addition. I'm about to hop into the second biome. This update, they added time chests, which I believe I had heard was also something similar in Dead Cells. But if you manage to finish a stage within, I think it's 5 minutes per stage. So whatever, if you're on stage 1, it's 5 minutes. Stage 2, 10 minutes. You just multiply it by that. Then you get extra stuff, which could be boosts, gifts, weapons, trinkets, anything. It's really nice. I'm a big fan, and it is very good incentive for going speedy.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a really big fan of a lot of that they added in this. I have another Fall of the Wind where I didn't want it. Okay.
No.
It's fine. Shows 20 HP. I'll take that.
No, you're progressing well. You're still a little bit ahead of me despite having seen multiple optional sections that I haven't yet.
I've been practicing my heart out for this.
You certainly have.
I'm hoping it shows. We got to do a 3-player co-op run at AGDQ that I was super excited to do because another Fall of the Wind. At the time, the game was even, newer, so to speak, 12% trinkets. And we got to do it with our good pal Osborne, who unfortunately did not have the time to be here, which is why another great friend of ours, Happy, is going to hop in for our co-op after this. But we got to do it, the run
there we
on
go.
the
There's
base
a Fall of the Wind for me.
Finally, we got to do it on the base difficulty, which has no additional scaling. So getting to show this game off with the additional scaling, which is, in my opinion, where a lot of the fun and the tension of the game comes from. I'm like really excited to get this as a second opportunity, so to speak.
Combat Arena.
Yep, welcome. Mine is a duplicate. Okay, come on.
Mine is the big tall arena, and it's full of the blade spinners. Ooh, Elder Sword though, I'll take that.
Oh, I like Elder Sword. I think. So last update we got Sharp Sisters, Elder Sword. Are we skipping Cog Gates?
Sure.
I already went into it, doesn't matter.
Okay.
I said it and I was like, you know what? That's not the...
You're right,
this
is technically all encounters.
Yeah. While we were farming things, we started just skipping these because we don't need this meta progression currency anymore.
So as Zen mentioned, yes, one that is a meta progression. The cogs are how you earn your unlocks in the first place, or at least the first several tiers of them. But so to unlock the rabbit and tiger skins, you have to complete the game on the 3rd and 4th difficulty, respectively. A total of, 5 times?
So
it's the initial plus 4 loops.
It's on the 3rd loop now, so it'd be 4 total times through the game on one play. Right. It initially was 5 during the beta, but there was a lot of people who said that might be a little much. And of course, the devs, Motion Twin, are super vocal and they listen a lot as well. And they said, okay, we hear you. And they moved it to 3, which let me tell you, 2 loops of time save it's a lot, but it's substantial time save. Yeah. I don't know if I would have all 3 saves if they didn't change it to 3 because it was time consuming and I'm doing a lot right now, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad I had the chance to get all of them before this because I felt a lot more accomplished and a lot more like I deserve to be here, which is, self-pressure, but I want to be able to do everything.
Says somebody who's running Monster Hunter at SGDQ 2025.
We're getting there. But I really wanted to show off, I wanted to feel like, better way to describe it, that I've done everything the game has to offer because the devs are putting so much love into this game, and the fact that they're willing to have so many conversations with the people who are playing it, and that includes conversations with me, it means a lot. I love to hear that out of a dev team. I love to see it, and This is like an opportunity where I get to say I love this game. I love everything they're putting into it, and I appreciate all the work that they're putting into it.
El Bro, good to see you, buddy.
So good. El Bro, salute. It's so good. I really hope more people see this, these 2 speedruns here, the showcase that we're doing of Windblown, and say, you know what, that looks like a fantastic game, and picks it up, because this community would love to have you. The Discord is super active, seriously. It's worth hopping in just to check it out.
Who had a goo bomb there, but it wanted life for it, so not this go around.
Took my first hit finally, that's good. Let's go. It means I'm actually need to pay attention a little more. So many follow the winds in this one, but that's okay. I'm still doing good ultimately. I feel pretty warmed, which is great.
Nice.
I genuinely thought all of my good luck got used in the last run because I had 5 gift slots by the end of Biome 1. Hibiki's Boomerang, Damage Scythe, complete, and upgrading Crystallize. I was like, it's Jover.
Jesus, yeah, those are...
It was an incredible one.
So the whole Crystallize section is a subset of gifts. There are gifts slotted into like 12 or 14 different categories. And the game actually, once you start taking things within a category, the game kind of figures, oh, okay, the player is trying to do something like this. I will give them more upgrades from the same category. But it's still hardly a guaranteed. So to have Crystallize, which is the function on stronger enemies, if you see the little like left trigger marker appear above their head, you are able to do Crystallize rather than finishing off their HP pool, and it auto defeats them and can potentially give you other benefits. So the crystallizing gift tree is what powers you up the extra rest of the way there. So like complete Crystallize lets you do the left trigger mark to any enemy. Upgrading Crystallize gives you 2% more damage overall every time you successfully do one. You can see how that would make you very, very powerful.
It stacks very nicely. There's like effectively 3 gifts that are perma-stacking, though with the Sanctuary update, I want to say they did get soft caps on their scaling, which was pretty deserved, to be completely frank.
Definitely.
Corrosive Goo and Enduring Goo, gamer.
Yo, nice. Are you done through Headbanger? Is that where that came from?
I am just about to be at Headbanger.
I'm just finishing up Headbanger.
Okay, so you passed me. That's good.
I mean, granted, with how many less follow the wind segments I've seen, I'm not surprised.
We'll see if the next 2 biomes give you some more to even it out or not.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, like if it's going to happen, then you honestly want to see them early because it gives you more power ramping and, critical blast or strong recovery. I'm going to take strong recovery. I'll just be a little bit safe. Strong recovery, a great power when playing solo, because if you've seen when we get hit, there's a little bit of kind of a bloodborne rally system where you can recover a small portion of your lost health if you are fast enough. Strong recovery takes that portion that can be recovered from like 25% to 100% of the health lost. Here's complete Crystallize. What can I give up for it? Burning weapons, I guess. Okay. So yeah, you get a much stronger version of the Bloodborne Rally, and you can also use your trinkets to regain that health as well. Gift slot? Yes, please. I'll just go ahead and take the extra health potion. And maybe I'll upgrade a weapon as well. The thrift shop lets you upgrade your weapons.
Which is a newer-ish edition. I think it's... Oh, wow, I get to go rat. Okay, it's... I want to say 2 updates in now, which is super. I'm a really big fan of that update as well. Because now you can kind of power up what you got a little more instead of always hoping for
Zenadier is probably happy for me because my 3rd biome that's boosted is Sanctuary.
Oh, please turn up the music. Mine is Rat Village. So.
I also got my hex. I got my hexes. I could have taken Future Hex, but since this is already biome 3 of 4, I decided not to.
Nah, I love the music in this game. The soundtrack's by Dangers, who's an incredible artist and did the Haven soundtrack.
Shoutouts to Haven. Absolutely. Own that soundtrack on vinyl.
It's so good. Dangers crushed it with this soundtrack as well, unsurprisingly, and the finished version of the Sanctuary OST, or that specific theme, effectively, just got added with this update, and it's so good. I'm obsessed with it. I'm very excited for it to get added to the soundtrack officially, so I can listen to it anywhere.
I have been super happy with the results I'm getting from this Elder Sword, kind of like you have every time you've gotten the fishing rod. Because here in Sanctuary, as enemies continue to get more difficult, and especially with this being the zone I have the least practice in, being able to knock enemies off the edge of the stage and have them not come back has been a big boon.
Yes. That is for sure. Sanctuary is so beautiful, but since it's the newest biome,
follow the wind.
Definitely not very practiced.
Oh no, it's a telepike puzzle.
Ooh, sorry, I don't like.
I have to take the telepike to be able to open the return chute, but I'm not actually going to continue using it. It's just some delicious money.
Yeah, I like the concept of telepike. I do not like the execution. That specific side room, you have to use the feature of the telepike where you can port to enemies that you throw it at, which is really cool. But then as soon as you finish that, you turn around and just get rid of it again. Sentinel wings, there you go. You got a good roll on it?
No, that enemy has sentinel wings.
Oh, the enemy with them. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. How'd it hit? How'd it feel?
Right. Thankfully, I had strong recovery, so I only actually lost about 40 health.
Oh, I got a permastack and boomerang. Nice. Am I actually willing to give up my Elder Sword? I think I'm not. I like Scirocco. It has great AoE coverage, but it's good. But I mean, there's a lot of weapons have sincere potential, so it comes down to as much of like, what are you comfortable with as, you know, what are the best rolls you're finding right now. So
duplicating Sentinel guards.
Hate that.
Yeah, not loving. Okay, we crystallize and we're out of there. Yeah, we'll take a piercing beat bolt. That's an upgrade.
No, you're a big fan of the beat bolt. Another cog gate.
Yeah, beat bolt is a rhythm-based weapon.
Reminds me of Soundfall. Big fan.
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Free crits. Yeah, most people
for sure.
Have, unfortunately. And it's really great at setting up alter attacks. And its alter attack is also very strong. I love beat bolt.
Yeah, beat bolt has amazing single target damage. And if you get lucky and get an affix that says, duplicated to all nearby, then it basically becomes like a ballista instead of a single fire crossbow. You're shooting just an immense amount of beams at everything nearby. Right now, Elbro is helping me make up the damage in terms of AoE that I can do.
Elbro is the hero of every run. Don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, great. It's basically just a little turret, and then when you use its ability, it speeds up its attack shot for a little while. I also am lucky that it is currently bouncing with its projectiles.
Oh, that's such a good roll.
Yeah, so when I have anything else that I have that has the ability to apply status effects, Elbro is going to be helping me do that even more effectively. So I'm doing a great job applying Curse, which Curse increases the incoming damage that enemies take. And when enemies have 10 stacks of Curse, it turns into Final Curse, which further enhances the amount of incoming damage to them.
There we go, another challenge down. I think I'm about to be at the Pirate Captain.
Nice. Well, I guess you got a short version of Biome 3 then, because I don't think I'm particularly close to the boss of the biome yet. That's fine.
Sanctuary tends to feel pretty long in my experience. I think I'm with
the enemies here we're less familiar with. They have some kind of new and different tricks. This is really meant to be an advanced biome, I think, because you don't gain access to it until later on. So I'm not surprised.
It's a decently long sub-quest to get access to it, which is pretty reasonable. A lot of the enemies there feel like they're just stepped up versions of the ones that have come before in terms of what they're doing. So they're not impossible to get used to. Another Fall of the Wind, so never mind. But they are still very interesting to adapt to in the way that they combine what they're doing with one another. And it's like playing chess. All the pieces have a point. I got the room with the 5 turrets on the edge and one big boy in the middle.
It could be worse. Could be the what were we calling it? The dev room, the one that's just absolutely chock-a-block full of turrets and other stuff.
Yeah, that one's painful. That one. All right, I'm at the boss finally. That one is like, if you don't have a weapon or trinket set up good for that room, you're gonna have a terrible time. Not gonna lie. I'm just gonna drop this for safety now.
I'm just at the challenge for Sanctuary.
You can't nerf me. All right, Captain down.
Nice.
Critical blast.
Yeah, you definitely got scaling working for you.
Yeah. I'm still using like my starting Hibikis. As it tends to come down to, somehow I always end up using at least like one of my starting loadout for way too long. I'm stubborn. I just like sticking with it. I'm so comfortable with Hibikis. 6. Back immediately. How's Sanctuary treating you?
Boss. So, and I don't have great options for it, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I cannot trust you. All right, I have forcibly upgraded Hibikis a little bit just to make it a little easier.
Probably smart.
All right, biome 4, here I come. I tend to not mess with the thrift shop upgrading until the final biome. I like to stack my shells, which is the currency.
Okay, just barely
right
managed to escape the final section scare from Memo Reaper there.
Do you happen? Oh wow! Immediately I am faced with Run Ender. That is pain. That's fine. It's
Lovely.
dead.
Sentinels, as we learned, they're called from this update, where you get Elder
fine.
Sentinels over in Sanctuary.
A second one right after the first. Hello, game.
Hey, I ain't
what are
mad.
you doing
Gives
to
me
me?
a chance to catch up.
Yeah, that's it. It knew. So-called Run Ender because it is, at least in my
It sure will.
Yeah, it is the strongest enemy in the game, in my opinion, in terms of what it's got going on. I find I struggle with it more than most bosses, frankly. It hits hard, it hits wide, and it is aggressive. It is not the tankiest enemy, so you can kill it faster than some others. There are like tankier ones in this fourth biome, but sheesh, if I see a Run Ender, there's fear, frankly. I'm getting better at fighting though. Like all the endless loops I've done, I feel like I'm starting to really get used to how to play around them, which is good. We're finally getting there. Took way too long.
All right, I'm just entering Incubator myself. I just went ahead and spent all the money I had in upgrading my current loadout, so see if that was a good call or not.
All right, where are we at? Remember, if we see the tank, we touch tank for good luck. Finally a new Hibikis.
Hey,
Literally the
nice.
same roll with just attack speed bonus.
I've seen basically no weapons in the last biome and a half.
Hey, you got a good loadout that you want to stick with. There's nothing particularly wrong with it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the final bosses are going to go, but Elder Sword is still paying off, so I can't be too mad. Doing a great job knocking enemies off of platforms for me.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to swap it up to Sharp Sisters. I've been getting good practice with these. Size 100
nice.
on these ones.
Oh, hey, look, there's some Sharp Sisters for me.
Hey,
I'm
there
actually
we go.
also going to swap out.
What's up, twin? Motion twin, if you will. Sorry.
I see what you did there.
So these
And
were
I'm
added
also
in the last
using the
update.
detonator that I have to keep enemies trapped in the Sharp Sisters alter attack.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's a great combo, actually. Dude, Sharp Sisters are so good. They're another, like, incredible status primer of a weapon with also very strong alter attack damage, which you love to see. Come on, you can die. Thank you. That was a little longer than I would have preferred. Size 100 is my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Weapon. They get so ridiculous when they're large. I didn't get it. I had, I think, 5 different fishing rod rolls in my practice right before this. I haven't gotten one. I'm very disappointed. Fishing rod is such a meme-worthy addition to this game. I'm a big fan. It's, as you would expect with the fishing rod, you can reel enemies in. You can literally just pull them off the edge of the map and just insta-kill them up until they become larger enemies like the ones we're facing in Biome 4. So the first 3 biomes become very efficient with fishing rod if you know how to position. It's so nice. So I got a lot of practice with it during Endless since I was just repeating all the biomes. Don't have any room for those. Thank you, though. I am at the shop.
Nice. You're going to finish a couple of minutes ahead of me in all likelihood.
Hey, look, I just got Midas.
Yeah, that's the time for
Okay.
it. Midas is another one of those stacking gifts, and it goes based on how much money you have. How are you doing money-wise?
I'm at 3.1K.
Yeah, you usually are. You're kind of conservative with your buys.
Yeah, I tend to save it just because I'm hoping for Midas because it's the best damage or percentage like perma stacking in the game. I just insta-killed green.
Wow,
Okay.
nice.
Goodbye. I'm using his weapon better than him. I'm you, but stronger. I'm sorry.
You're just built different.
Blue's
Frankly,
down.
this is what I was hoping to happen for you because you, as mentioned earlier, but it really can't be understated, you have absolutely been practicing your butt off at this.
I really enjoy this game. There are a few games that I can play actively, like constantly, and Windblown is one that whenever I come back to it, every update done. That's time.
Nice, GG.
I still enjoy it. They add just enough to keep me interested every time, and when I want to challenge myself, even when I'm rusty, there's still enough there for me. I love it. Wow. All right, now I need to watch your perspective. What's going on over there?
Yep, all eyes on me.
So you do have a Protector fish, I see. That's good. I had
Yeah, that only just happened.
Oh, there we go. I love the fish so much. All right, I'm gonna go back to the Ark so we can potentially get happy ready for this.
Very good.
Yeah, so that fish slot is more commonly spawning nowadays. They did up the value on it. There are 3 fish. Why can I not think of the whole term? T-Tree, please fill it in. Thank you, Magifish. There are 3. There's the gobbling, which you can throw out. It'll eat your enemies for a short time, and the more you damage the gobbling fish, the more the explosion does to everything in it and around it at the end. Not my favorite. It has a lot of good crowd control utility, but for speedrunning purposes, it slows us down, and the damage you do to it doesn't fully translate to what's inside, in my opinion, so Boing Fish, which, my beloved, they nerfed it for co-op, but it's still fantastic for solo. You just bounce on it constantly. Great iframes, great damage. I love it. And then Protector Fish, which is also a fantastic safety option. It's just invulnerability for the duration, and in co-op, if you step into the AoE, you're protected for a time, even if you step out of it. It's fantastic. It's got a great purpose, especially when I'm panicking, especially against Run Under, which I just saw you killed on stream, which is obviously delayed, but heck yeah. So I'm seeing you got Beat Bolt, Sharp Sisters, Detonato, and Frost Nova. Very good loadout. What are your gifts?
They're basically all safety based.
Hey,
which is how I survived Sanctuary, but also why I'm so far behind you. And strong recovery. I think I have Lifesteal Flask, or maybe no, I don't have the refilling flask.
That's my actual skin.
I got goo duration at the beginning. I got enduring goo from the World 1 chest, but I didn't end up with anything that actually gave goo. I just happened to have a weapon at the time that did it, but I didn't keep it.
Yeah, that's the game's like soft leaning towards things that complement the build. Big fan of it. Yep. But I love goo. As you know, goo is a soft crowd control, technically speaking. You've got there's a time stop trinket now, which just slows everything, which is technically still soft crowd control. The Frost Nova hard control freezes things. But goo is the hardest soft control crowd control possible, and that it slows everything touched by it and roots them in place so they can very slowly turn through the duration, and it's so good. I love goo. They buffed it and made it my favorite thing. It was already my favorite thing's a meme, and now it's seriously my favorite. It is the best survivability you can pick in the game, in my opinion, especially for Endless. Drop constant goos and they can't catch you. It's so good. I'm having a great time. I got to play this game again, and I'm excited. I love this game a lot.
Yeah.
All right, I see you're at the ship, at least on stream, so we should be starting the final boss on your end. I've got a big stretch for my cat here.
Thank you for providing the viewers with more content.
That's going to be a t-shirt when we open the merch store, so I'm going to get one, all right? Thank you, Kepler Interactive. Hey, I have a cat Gogurt. If stream wants to also check that out.
You know they do.
My cat's already very excited. I want to. She's my best friend, so here's me. Look into the camera, okay? All right, so as you saw with the final boss, there are 3 incubation tanks. There's green, there's orange in the middle, and blue on the right side. We tend to have a relatively set order where we always start with green. I think my preference is generally blue second. Yours tends to be orange, right?
I mean, I'm going to do the same pattern.
We at least luck into blue pretty often. I'm raising our head a little bit, chat. So you open them in whatever order you want. You can open them all together if you want, which is dangerous, but it's fun. And the later on you open a specific tank, the stronger they get. So they get bigger, like muscly straight up, and they do more damage, of course. So there's a lot of thought into what moveset do I deal with best, first, second, last, etc. And if you have a good setup, especially in co-op, it's fun to drop them all and then just blast them as a group for time saves. I love doing that, but for this, obviously, I went one at a time just for safety's sake.
Same.
She's crushing this. I see you on orange. How's it going? Fight me. Here you go, sweetheart. Keep going. Cat Gogurt. Sorry, this is literally what I do on my stream too, just so we're clear.
No, of course, as well you should.
She is my best friend, and she's here always on the desk when I'm playing games and stuff. She has watched me play this game for time. Very nice. I'm gonna check my Steam now. I have 142 hours in this game, and this save file alone has over 3 days worth of time in game. Congratulations, gamer. Let's go. We were both under 30 minutes,
I was
even
doubly
solo
so to you.
on this, which is really good.
You at 22. Hot diggity. To be fair, that's about the time I expected from you, especially when you said you got off to a good start.
Yeah, I honestly, when you passed me for the second biome, I was like, oh wow, I'm gonna have to do a lot of work to get back in here.
You have the scaling gifts.
I need to make sure Happy gets.
So we're going to take it back to the arc real quick, and then we're going to bring in a third leaper, take the difficulty up one more step to tempestuous. That increases the abilities of enemies even further, and we'll come back when we're ready for that. I don't think we're going anywhere just yet. We're just going to take a few seconds to get that set up on our end. So hang tight, everyone.
Yeah, hiding my friends list. There you go, sweetheart. I did invite Happy, so hopefully he's joining in a moment here.
Cool.
There we go. He's in the lobby. Would you like me to invite you as well?
Yes, please.
Gotcha. Are you... There you are, showing online. Invite to play. You have been invited. Finish up, sweetheart. She's tearing this poor thing up. Thank you.
Very good. All right, my friends, I think we are all set. I hear we have a third leaper with us, ready to jump into the vortex. Is that right?
It's me. Hi.
Hey.
I almost missed your invite because I was clipping a full minute of the cat eating the Go-Gurt.
Truly the most
Quality
important
content.
highlight from the previous run.
It's called peak content.
Oh, yeah.
You too could feed a cat Go-Gurt if you play Windblown. That's all I'm saying.
It's true.
She's got
Nothing
some of
in
her
the
moves.
Windblown terms and conditions says you can't.
This is true. You have every right to do this. Well, I'm super happy you get to join us, Happy. Thank you for finding the time to
Hey,
do
so
this.
are they. It's right in the name.
Haha. No, I'm
True.
super stoked.
Hey.
It's,
you
I
found
feel
that
like
one.
I am definitely the least experienced windblower of the group.
Leaper.
No, mine's more fun.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if you were just cautiously doing that one or yours is more fun.
Yours is canon, but
Yes,
mine is.
Well,
Horatio Windblower. That's it.
it doesn't matter if it's canon as long as it's fun.
I think my favorite part of the Windblown lore is when Windblown gets invented by John Windblower when
true.
he tried to blow out candles twice at once.
Yep, that's actually what this whole big mess out here is, just because somebody was too aggressive with their birthday cake.
But no, I am
Right.
super, super excited. I'm the least experienced of the three of us, but I have had a blast playing with y'all and learning more about the game.
I'm actually going to add
people
one or
who
two things back into
know what
our
they're
deck
doing.
as well,
Oh
so that they have a chance to show up now that we're all playing together. And I believe only one player needs to do that, but if there are any other
It
alterations
is a
that anybody
shared
wants to
deck.
make.
That's interesting.
That is my understanding, is everybody's deck kind of gets added in at the same time. So if I decide I don't want Gobblefish, but T-Tree does, T-Tree having it in their deck means it's still going to have a chance to spawn in a co-op, so they can still get what they want, which is great. I love that, actually. Because
The
even
only
though
thing
I'm
I
a
have-
certified Gobblefish hater, just saying. But if somebody else wants to use it, totally valid. Oh, we're going
Especially in a
fumble.
co-op run, it absolutely has its uses as like a panic button.
All
The
right,
only
you
thing
want me
I've
to do the
removed from my deck
countdown?
is kunai.
Nice.
Very fair.
All right, whenever you are ready, go ahead and join us.
Alrighty.
And then we'll do our countdown. Actually, no, since you're the last person to join, you do the countdown.
Yep. All right. We are now on Tempestuous, and we're going to be starting on Fungal Swamp this time. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's launch, Leapers. Whee!
Good luck, Leapers.
So, even though Happy may be less experienced, it's not going to stop this from being a very possible run, because co-op is great in that we definitely have the opportunity to carry each other and complement each other with the weapons and trinkets we're building, as well as the revenge mechanic, which we might see, we might not. We won't know until we know. But that also got updated again recently from where it was. Upgrading
Complete crystallize. You got
Let's
upgrading?
go.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so Zen's the carry of this run, too. Here
I
we go.
also got complete crystallize.
Oh,
So we only need one person to have it, so
Yep.
one of you can drop it
Yeah, I'll
later
probably
on.
drop it
What's
later.
super cool about that is it applies to the whole party, but thank you for thinking of us.
for sure.
I don't think any of mine are good.
I wouldn't.
So I'm just
That is
gonna do
okay.
this.
Take the
Yeah,
cash.
you can see in the bottom right corner, you can see the options your allies have in case they need any advice.
Which I
will
often do.
Yeah, I will definitely sometimes take damage hex, which increases outgoing and incoming damage by 50%. But yeah, decidedly risky. So now we also have more bodies to rub up against sides of areas and find new passageways.
And some are not always obvious because they're through wall.
Yep.
Wouldn't be surprised if I missed some in our actual run. It happens.
Same.
That's okay, because the spirit is still there, and that's what matters. Oh my goodness.
Not bad.
144 damage.
I feel like I kind of have 2 secondary weapons right now.
I'm purposely not going to heal just to see if we can get revenge for
Double
damage.
hits. I will actually take some double hits. Why not? Especially since I don't need crystallize. So I'll go ahead and drop complete crystallize. I will sell it so we all have some more money. Anything you sell when you are in co-op generates money for the whole team. I could use those if somebody else is not going to, but otherwise go for it.
Yeah, no, you can have.
Okay. Oh, hey, there's a boost hiding down here. We all have to.
Now, what I'm mostly doing here is,
come back!
I found a follow the wind.
Come back! There's a boost.
Yeah, there is also a teleport to your ally system, which is done by.
I can't teleport to you because you're already on my screen. You were just kind of hiding in the corner.
Hi, how's it going?
There you go.
Hi, welcome. Taking 50 HP.
Rare damage? Okay, don't mind if I do.
All right, there's a follow in we need to get to now.
Yes.
Something behind this as well. Wow, Elder Sword. If you want to take Elder Sword, I will take the claws.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. I've been getting more practice with
God.
them lately. I like them.
Lord.
It's fine.
That dude was not happy with me.
Oh, this.
And now he's just not. Straight up.
No, he's just
Wow,
not.
Good job.
Yeah, so my game plan is hope we find a beat bolt because I did like all of my playing this game casually with beat bolt, so I'm terrible with every other weapon.
I can drop you mine if you need it.
Oh, you have one? No, you're
do.
fine. I'll
There's
find
all the
something.
wind left side. You can pull
And
it.
another one. Wow. We call
Now we're
these
getting
boosts
my
for
luck.
boss because that's
Yep.
basically the exchange here. You take a boost up front. I got lucky and got my first rare boost of the day,
Nice.
which typically provide the largest benefits. There's just a very relatively small chance of them happening unless you get a gift, which increases the chances of them appearing by 30%.
Lucky boosts. Don't take damage. At least try not to. If it happens, it happens. I almost immediately took damage. Nice. All right, cool. Weapons.
Hey, look, a
Fishing
beat bolt.
rod.
Ooh.
I'll drop that for you.
Oh, you're the
All right.
best.
We have
It is a
fishing rod. I
damage
get to
down one,
demonstrate.
but it also means you don't have to worry about the timing.
Everybody gets their own fish now. Tap that fish.
Grab charge blade real quick and then replace it
You're
with beat bolt and then sell and then teleport to you. All right.
Okay. I have fishing rod now. It's happening.
Nice.
Bring
Yeah,
them
so the
to
biggest
edge.
the biggest place that you'll probably notice a difference in like the speed of our play is item selection.
Making decisions. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just like the more you play this game, and I've even in the last like week as I've been playing it to kind of prepare for this, I've noticed a huge uptick in how quickly I can like see what I want and make choices, but it is still nowhere near how fast these two are.
Which is a function that'll change again once you start figuring out more play styles you enjoy. You know, you'll kind of it's peaks and valleys. It'll be like, oh, actually, I think I could make this work, and you're going to take a little bit of time to think about it. But then once you get used to it again,
All right, I cannot toss this off yet. We actually have to fight it. Much as I'd love to.
yeah, any elite or boss enemy, if you knock them off of a platform, they just warp back up. Happy? Oh, yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I was sorry, I was getting it encrypted. I still have those.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Heck We're gonna
Yeah,
keep
so
unlocking
Zen with the
stuff for a
stacking
while.
damage from the gift, we'll go ahead and take.
Okay. Who's getting this one?
I'll probably take the first one if that's okay.
Okay. Where's me?
Don't mind that one bit.
As you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, Zen actually doesn't need to be as aggressive with taking plus damage from gifts. Like, certainly he can choose to, but the fact that he has the stacking damage on a gift from upgrading Crystallize means that he could potentially branch out into more kind of utility-based upgrades and still keep up with us DPS-wise because he has the upgrading Crystallize in his back pocket. Or he could go full fat into it and just absolutely become the hyper carry of this run.
We'll see what happens. It's all up to luck of the draw.
True.
All right. Expect the tri-bomb.
Yeah, so it's the same boss from the other first segment, but now he's got lots of mushrooms, and that changes his attacks and his attack patterns.
Should we get whatever boss they didn't get to see during your race?
For segment 3, they actually did get to see both. So technically, we've covered everything now.
There's a third one. I also just got balance.
I just got Midas.
Yo, let's go.
So there are 2 biomes for biome 3. You have 2 options for biome 3, but there are 3 options that you could potentially end up with. There are 2 options in Rat Village, and there's 1 in the Sanctuary. We had the Sanctuary boss, and we had the Pirate Captain in the Rat Village. So there is an alternate.
All right, I'm gonna need you all to do some purchasing for me.
Healing.
Oh, do you have Midas?
I do.
Let's go. What do you need?
Nothing just yet, unless somebody wants to grab that goo bomb for me. I wouldn't say
I got
no.
you.
Okay, you got goo bomb. I'm gonna.
Thank you.
I'm good.
Yeah, so Midas is the same kind of scaling enhancement, but it scales with how much money you have. So it is now a bad idea for me to spend money at any point.
So we want to not finish the headbanger head.
Which, yeah, that's the easier path to go through. We will not do what you did last time and fully defeat the form of the headbanger boss. Let it run away, and that means we'll face the head as a boss in the next section.
Also, if anyone sees a boomerang they don't want, I would love it.
Okay.
Another claws, very nice. Alright, I'm gonna fish this off the edge. Fine! I love fishing rods. They added Sharp Sisters. I was saying this last run and then stopped finishing my thought because I'm great at it. ADHD is fantastic.
T-Tree, I just feel like you're only here for the zip line.
Why do you say that?
Hey, it's the fun part.
Stupid reference.
Indeed.
Zip lines are weirdly fun in this game. Like, I don't know why it feels so fun to just
especially when
press A into but like it's so fun.
Oh, for sure.
Bye.
We've got lots of abilities to throw enemies off of ledges.
Yeah, we do.
Definitely here for it.
So fishing rod is fantastic because if I hold my button, I can literally reel enemies off. Follow the wind. Another boost for boss. And anything that's not a larger enemy, I can just insta-give them with it, which is so fun. And I love that I actually get to show it off. I love it too much. It's a fun
crit damage is a little big.
Preference to play it.
I'm getting a lot of critical upgrades, which is really nice.
Hey, take it.
It does help with the beat bolt since perfect timing on beat bolt is where your crits are.
Whoa,
Okay, bye everyone. Hey, look, a boomerang. Hey, look, a boomerang that stacks damage if you hang it over something longer.
I will take it.
Nice.
Quite good.
Fishy. Wait, what? Oh, I pressed the wrong button and wasted a health pot.
That's okay. We still have.
Why did I think B was going to send things to the arc?
This one is yours, Happy.
Cool.
Oh boy. This is one of those elite enemies that has some really obnoxious power-ups. The lasers surrounding it. Thankfully, we have the DPS between 3 of us.
And it gets worse in Cataclysmic.
Yeah.
They are
I haven't
half the size
played
of the
Cataclysmic yet, and I'm scared
it's
too.
Terrifying.
It sounds awful.
All of the elite upgrades get even stronger. I have to take 50 HP.
Yeah, more crits.
While I was in the process of unlocking these skins, I had a funny moment where I actually completed up to the very final boss of 4 runs of Cataclysmic before I realized that Cataclysmic is not one of the difficulties that unlocks a new skin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no!
You did tell me about this. Follow the wind, left side.
Yep. I died on the final boss of that last loop, and then it turns out I was bound for disappointment either way.
Well, it's still really good that you made it that far regardless. That is not easy on Cataclysmic.
Cataclysmic
is brutal.
I love fighting robot Monkey D. Luffy.
Right?
Yeah, there's also Zoro.
I got there last, so
biome.
Chet didn't get to see too much of it, but he sure was there.
And we killed it faster than it can do Gum Gum Gatling, which is always fun. There's a Zoro rat in the 3rd biome that I did run into a few times, but
I also like the effect where if you have multiple enemies in a row to do the crystallized do, and they're far enough apart from each other, your leaper will kind of like zip line between them.
Hey, protector fish.
I will take my own fishing rod. Why not?
Let's go. I have a bowling fish for boss.
Fishing rod and Elder Sword. I'm all knocked back now.
Boing fish just in time.
Nice.
Let's go. Like I mentioned, Boing Fish, super good. Not as strong
whoa, I made a
as it used
mistake.
to be, but it's still super helpful for just free damage and invulnerability during a time just due to the iframes. So I will be using it
out.
soon. And remembering not to kill the head afterwards. All right, going.
So yeah,
Yeah,
that,
fish.
Boing Fish is basically a point that you can dash towards, and when you land on it, it does an attack that I think originally scaled like percentage-wise, but when you see how many bounces you can get off with 3 players,
Don't touch it. Yeah, it got reasonably nerfed. I can't be too upset. Oh, bro, calm down. I can't be too upset with it. But I really wish it didn't just because it was so good, but I understand why it did.
Right.
It's still glorious in single player that I don't even mind that much. Golden trinkets. Hey, look, I got Midas. I now have upgrading,
all 3 of
balance,
them. Yep.
and Midas. I have achieved Nirvana.
Yeah, you've achieved godhood, but also now you can't spend any money either.
Yep. I can spend no money. I have to take every health upgrade, and I have to be slamming that left trigger on every enemy possible.
Hey, happy
Great.
Warbucks. How you
Which
feeling?
means I am Daddy Warbucks. Yep.
I'm not
All right,
going to
what do
ask
you
you
need?
for anything. Don't worry about it.
I actually could really use this Elder Sword.
This one?
Yeah.
And then if you have the money left over, go ahead and buy that last slot for yourself.
Oh, less gift slot. Smart.
We move on.
That
And
a
then I will
zipline
take
reference to that
some
sketch about the batch the ret, by the way. They were asking.
That is what it was.
Let's go Kepler Interactive.
Sounds about
Kepler got
right.
it. All right, we have
Thanks,
to go
Kepler.
to this one.
Yes, you're right. We
Kepler
do.
Interactive. That's amazing that someone actually got it. I had no idea.
A really good
All
sketch.
right, welcome
So
back.
Hey, look,
Rat
another gift
Village.
slot. Too bad we can't afford it now.
Gift slot 2. Oh,
Yeah.
down by
Sorry.
Fondo.
Different number. Who this?
Straight to the edge. Thank you. Goodbye.
God, I love the little fondue boys.
Fondo.
They're perfect.
Yeah, I mean, they're delightful, but they're also an
Gremlins.
absolute nuisance.
Follow the wind, right side. You can
I
port
thought
to
there
me.
would be one around here.
Yeah, I had a
Boost for
feeling.
boss.
Yep, once again, we're getting a lot of these today.
And none of
And
my
I'm
gifts
getting
have been rare ones.
crits from all of them.
Nice.
Oh, we need to lock this one down. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one without goo. Thank you.
Oh, I had you, but I didn't get to get it off in time.
Yay, but we bullied it.
Yeah.
Yeah, once I had the goo applied, because goo, as Zen mentioned earlier, is technically soft CC. It doesn't completely stop them, but what it does is it slows down attack speed, and with some recent updates, it also slows down their turning radius, basically making them a lot less reactive.
It is the hardest soft crowd control you can ever find.
An enormous benefit.
Hi, Zoro. The one thing, though,
Hi,
as
Zoro.
I've come to find out, is it... Oh, wow, fish knife. It does counterplay fishing rod. If you goo enemies, they don't like to be reeled, which is hilarious and frustrating at the same time. Hi, Zoro. Bye, Zoro. Bleeding. I'm gonna
Lead aura that spawns a
Lead aura?
scythe.
I actually
Big
am
fan
going
of
to take
scythe
that
build.
because I have, I think I have bleed on one of my weapons already.
Nice.
If I'm not crazy, I think I have something stacking bleed already, so I might as well build on it.
Actually,
But I might be wrong.
don't. We're making really good
I
progress.
appreciate that there's a lot of UI and intelligibility updates in the recent patches as well. Like when a trinket cooldown ends, instead of having to check the bottom corner, which is still my instinct, I absolutely will do that. But you also now get a message above your head saying that your trinket is up.
Yeah,
This is very nice.
So
'cause
Hey,
that's
another protector.
usually where my eyes want to be.
I'll take the protector fish.
And-
This costs the meta currency, meta progression currency, and we have a lot of that. So that's basically free for us.
Because they added those time chests, they also had a timer in the bottom right of the screen, right above our currencies. The one thing is, though, it does pause at a couple points, because that's when the chest timer
It's not an
pauses, so
IGG, it's a challenge timer.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Special
yeah.
rat.
Which is still great. I would love to see if they could make it both. Also, yeah, that is special Zoro. Hello. Is that the other Zoro, effectively?
I am getting aggro.
Hey, remember how you like really hate to have the aggro? Well, it turns out I
My
had
turn.
most of that one.
Yeah, wow. For once, it wasn't my problem.
Indeed.
All right.
There's also something for you back there, Happy.
Hooray.
I thought they got the encrypted. Nope, never mind. You're right.
Boom.
I could use some. If anybody sees a good gift that they don't want, let me know.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, just replacing a level 1 ultra laser or level 2, whatever it is.
Oh, so trinket. Gotcha.
Sorry, yes.
What do you mean? You don't want to just use the same stuff until the end of the game? Just me?
I would love it to be able to do other cool things, you know?
That's true. That's very fair. I like
the laser doesn't provide that much utility on its own.
Damage is its own utility.
Granted, it's one of the better resources in the game.
True. Look, another cog gate.
Hey, we're helping Happy out.
These. Yeah, it's like Happy
I need these.
Fine.
It's for me.
I'm forgetting that I don't have to crystallize, because Zen's the only one getting benefit from it beyond just defeating enemies faster. Because whenever you're crystallizing, you can't be doing other attacks.
Yeah, and it also does technically extend the life of some of them if multiple people crystallize. It keeps them alive for a split second longer while we're all going through the animation. All right.
Then you want to drop us a heal before we start this?
Yeah, I got you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Gone as fast as I press the button. 1, 2, 3. One more. I like that we're all like loosely locking in. I just lock in vocally. Echo brutal.
Hey, there's a crystallized.
Ooh, damage scythe or trinket scythe?
Yes.
Damage scythe.
It depends how much trinket cooldown you have. Damage scythe is probably more reliable.
And I don't yet, so I think damage is the play. But I like that I'm getting multiple scythe things.
True.
Scythe.
Like we mentioned before, that's the game saying like, hey, it feels like you're probably going into making this kind of build.
I'm in danger.
You are, but that'll be a good opportunity to show off the revenge system.
Wait,
Someone's got to do it, right?
Trust, I'm gonna survive.
Yeah, they've updated the revenge. It wasn't even revenge mechanic originally.
Correct.
What was the
It
name
was
of
instant death or something like that.
What was the name of
Sudden
it
death.
originally? It's been so long. Sudden death? You're right. All right.
Hey,
but yeah, I built,
an Elbro that does bonus damage to good enemies. That'll be a great
Let's
replacement
go.
for the Ultra
Ninja
Laser.
stars. We're at the boss. I haven't seen those in a while.
I built Scythe my very, very first run.
Goo?
Like right after I installed the game.
Goo does that.
Yes.
And I was very happy to discover that it is in fact just a good build.
Yes.
Scythe
is incredible.
I was like, this feels good, but I don't know if it's useful.
Thankfully, the Boink Fish also put us in the same place, so I was able to use Protector Fish and clutch us up.
See, I told you I was going to survive.
Dash mark.
You didn't believe in me.
I always believe in you, Happy. All I'm saying is if we wanted to show off more of the game, it's okay if you take a tactical pick.
Oh, nice.
It's true.
I have Blast, so now I have Blast applies Goo.
Nice.
Aw, Goo Blast, my beloved.
Goo Blast, my beloved. What a sentence, huh?
Look, they're already
man
gonna
just
put
says
I
some
love
words
Goo on a
sometimes.
t-shirt. They're already doing it. It's fine.
All right, what do you need?
I don't
Step
know.
up to the window, put in your order.
Fortunately, there's not. You should actually, if you have a spare slot, since you have all 6, you should take lifesteal flasks. So that that way, if you're able to get a flask later on, it means you can, when you pop your flask, all of us will get lifesteal for 10 seconds.
It's so good. Lifesteal flask and refillable flask are incredible gifts for survival.
If you don't have a spot for it, just drop it and I can make use of it.
No, it's fine. I didn't need crystallized.
Oh yeah,
so.
complete crystallize isn't necessary for the last biome.
True.
Good call.
With all the Goo quotes, I'm sorry, I am Goo's biggest fan. I liked Goo before it was good,
Goo Blast, your beloved. But actually, I'll replace the bleed with merged scythes. Merged scythes sounded really smart.
I also love a scythe build.
What I got going on here. All right, some upgrades so I don't die.
Very fair.
Away!
You will, but it'll just be temporary. You'll get better.
No, for sure.
Yeah, as we came to find out during endless farming to get T-Tree a skin last night, the revenge mechanic goes very fast nowadays when you have good damage. So
well, yeah. Again, it's one of those things that scales off of base damage. So in later loops, when base damage is super high. To the question in chat that says, are drops random or fixed? They are random. We are just making things work the best we can. That's why the estimates are sometimes a little generous. It's the kind of thing where it's like, oh, I could finish 90% of runs in under this amount of time.
It's worth noting, there it is.
There it is.
It's worth noting, though, that we mentioned it right before we started this loop, or this run, I should say, excuse me, that they did introduce the memory deck as a mechanic overall as of this update, which lets you cater what's going to be randomly rolled a little more. There is a minimum amount of things you can have in your deck at any given time. Welcome back.
And immediately in danger.
Yeah, that's how it goes. So if you unlock everything, but you're like, I don't even like half of what's here, you can go into the memory deck and say, I don't want this to roll at all, which is very, very nice flexibility. So you can help.
Yeah, but there are minimums. So like,
yes,
you have to have at least 8 weapons in your deck and a certain number of gifts, so that you can't just like pick only the 3 things that you want every. So there's still some randomness, but you can.
Hi, Run Ender. Please do.
I got him.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm incredibly picky when it comes to the gifts I'm willing to use, and even I didn't hit the cap on most anything. Welcome, Run Under. So the memory deck, while it does have minimums, question mark? Why is nothing opening? I guess we're proceeding.
Is it because I'm
defeat an enemy and come back?
It can be weird. So
I like that it brought your corpse along to the next arena.
Yeah, that was pretty cool of it, actually.
It's convenient, you know. Hi, Run Ender. Welcome back.
Why do I keep coming back when there's a Run Ender?
Again! Where we knocked it off and it continued its combo. Just like last night. That's so painful.
Hey, look, there's the reward from earlier.
Yeah, it brought it back. That's interesting. I didn't notice that.
That's very nice, actually.
Burning crits.
Deadly extension.
I'm just going to go ahead and move through.
Burning criticals.
I'm just
yeah. So
the deck works for everything. It works for weapons, trinkets, gifts, all that stuff. Magic fish, hexes as well. Yes.
Yeah, which that's the only one where I reached a minimum before I would have curved all of them. But I don't use hexes much in general, just because they're flat bonuses at a cost, and they are very valuable. But I find the horizontal progression from other gifts to be more valuable for my playstyle personally. Except
whereas I will absolutely, if you're just doing a single loop, there's one called Future Hex, which weakens you on the current biome and then strengthens you after that. I recommend that one.
Oh, wow, power refill. What a! I need a 6 gift slot right now.
Nice.
Yeah, I would be ecstatic to find a 6 slot. Not gonna lie.
Okay, we'll give you the first one then.
No, I have 5.
Oh, do we all have 5?
Yep, I have 5, and I currently have 5 things that I like.
Sure, right.
So I'm like, dang, I don't want to.
Hey, you can take the 6th one, in my opinion. I have no problem with that.
Assuming we find
I have finished runs with 4.
Hello, friends.
Yeah,
hello,
you can absolutely
friends.
finish a run with like 4.
Challenge mode.
Oh, at least the Project 2501 over there, which is actually one of the skins you can unlock. Thankfully, he just kind of hung out and waited for us.
Whew. My favorite skin in the game. Big fan. Hey, trinket
free
scythe.
Trinket scythe. Too bad we don't have a space for it.
Heal me.
Did you pick up Lifesteal Flask out of curiosity?
Yeah, they did.
I did.
I could drop something if you want to give it to me.
Yeah, if you give the trinket, the Lifesteal Flask.
Teleport. If you teleport to me, Lifesteal Flasks are down here.
Copy.
And I'll be waiting with a boost, so you teleport back to me when you're ready.
Let's go. Optimal. I'm porting to Happy. It's fine. We'll get this. I'll drop it right before the next arena, and then we'll get my heal in addition to
just taking attack because it gave me 15 HP.
Hi,
thank you for heals. I love you. Run Ender's back.
All right, everyone, play aggressively because you have lifesteal active right now.
Yeah, we actually honestly, especially with Run Ender, I find that is the best option.
Despite how scary that was, and the fact that I think most of us took damage, we still came out with full health.
Whoa! I am impressed to say I did not.
Oh, Brutality. I thought that was Scythe, and I got excited. Sorry.
Brutality is very good if you can build for it.
Yes, a full Brutality build can give you 60% damage basically permanently if you do it right.
Love a fast. Oh, Scythe damage and size up. Nice. Does anybody want to steal Hit Blast, Goo Blast?
Nah, just drop and eat whatever you need. Good. We're basically at the end.
I will say if there is a health pot in the shop, you should buy it for me and I'll pick it up.
Agreed.
Because I have the most health, so I'll heal the most.
I'm just gonna teleport to you.
Largest heals, and you still have the lifesteal as well.
Lifesteal, yeah. I'll hold on to that to the end. We're good. Good. Did we get that?
Yeah. So I just have full Scythe build at this point.
Dude, Scythe build is so good.
It's so fun.
It's just
something about it.
Free damage.
feels good. Like it's
People.
Hey, look at people.
Welcome to the shop.
better people.
There
Yeah, go for
is no extra flask. It is okay. I'm just gonna stick with this loadout. Don't bother spending money on me. We're fine.
There's no
fair.
health in the shop. Anything else
Nope.
we want?
Nope. Nah, we're good.
I got 2
Let's go.
flasks though, so it's okay. Are we gonna do 1 at a time, 2 at a time, 3? I think we can.
Let's pull
we
1
can
and 2,
manage.
Let's
and then
go.
save 3
Okay,
for
I did
after.
I'd say we can
one.
manage 2.
I did 1 reroll and it was worth it.
Heck yeah, good. The reroll mechanic is super good. All right, green's up, go blue. All right,
Don't chain me. Knew he was gonna do that.
I want green to get over here. All right,
I
go.
managed to get him good,
Let's go.
and they were in the same place. So yeah,
One
that
down.
was great.
Yeah, that's the ideal. Is you want to spawn all 2 or all 3 of them, goo them in place, and then poing. It's so good. All right, we're on to the 3rd one, which of course he threw stuff at me immediately. Is that protector? Awesome.
Everybody getting close. Protector fish up. Keep us even safer for the last little bit here.
Careful, those are me. Oh, cool. No. I was like,
Time
can I
coming up.
fishing rod you?
Ah,
Okay, take this.
not the homing phoenix.
time.
There we go, time. I got hit by him after
Yeah,
he died
same.
again. Let's go.
That happened to me in what, almost every loop of
Every
our Cataclysmic last night.
But it was way funnier because you were
Tempestuous.
dropping chrono catches to slow all projectiles so he
Yes.
would die, and then they would incredibly slowly track us after the animation.
Or in one case, they
and they
just
almost
kind
killed
of
you.
Yeah, they all warped to the right, but they were in the chrono catch field, so there was just a giant blob of damage dealers.
Get you uncrypted. What you got?
Yay! I got a badger bat.
Hey,
Nice.
oh yeah, I forgot that is on Tempestuous. Nice. All right. Well, we would loop
Jeez, my
if
friends.
we had more time to spare, but we're gonna, because they have to pick up the difficulty increase. They now officially have Cataclysmic.
Let's go.
All right, so yeah, this purple would be to loop if we wanted to go endless, but obviously we are going back to the arc. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you so much, my friends. Zenthir,
Yeah.
Happy by 3. Where can people find you?
Happy, you go first.
Occasionally streaming on Twitch at Happy by 3. In the coming weeks, next week, you can find me at MomoCon if anyone is headed to Atlanta. Zennadir and I are both on staff for the speedrunning event that's happening at MomoCon, and we will also be playing Monster Hunter Wilds Lockout Bingo together during the event. So come check that out. It's gonna be fun. And then you should head on over to this channel for SGDQ, where I will be playing Skate Horse for Silly Block, and then more
Skate
Monster
Horse.
Hunter Wilds again with Zennadir.
Hey, how's it going?
Look at you two
As it
gamers.
turns out,
Dang.
yeah, they don't even know what the incentive for Skate Horse is, and I hope they look forward to it without any knowledge. Just trust. Hey, thanks for having me. Thank you for inviting me, T-Tree, and I'm so glad I got to participate in this. Thank you, Kepler Interactive, because again, Windblown, fantastic. I've been Zennadir. You can find me on Twitch and Blue Sky under the same name. Who would have thought? I'm starting to stream a little more active. I do Game of the Month with my community, and it's just something fun for me to do. I was also playing Expedition 33, also from Kepler Interactive. Amazing game. Same with Happy. I will be at MomoCon this coming week. I will be heading production for the speedrun stage Momentum. Very excited for that. And SGDQ, I will be on the same fantastic squad as Happy for Monster Hunter Wilds. So it's a very busy 3 months I've got going for me, but I'm excited for it nonetheless. So.
Very, very, very cool. Thank you so much to the both of you. I mean, I guess I could do shout outs, but my shout out is that you should stay tuned because the Kepler Interactive Showcase is not over. Coming up, we've got one more fantastic game for you. You may have seen this one before. The game is Sifu, a action combat game with some interesting folds, much like the other games that you've seen in the Kepler Interactive Showcase today. It's got a strong foundation that it builds off of and does some unique things of its own. So again, one more brief break, hydration, medication, whatever you need to do. Take care of yourselves, and we'll be right here when we get back. My name is Atitri. This is the GDQ Hotfix, and I'm so glad you could be here with us. Or if you've been here all day, thank you so much for continuing to be here for the final run of the Kepler Interactive Showcase, Sifu. Sifu is a realistic third-person brawler with tight kung fu combat mechanics and cinematic martial arts action, embarking you on a path for revenge. Showing us just how quickly you can take that path is our friend SM Liquid, who's going to be running a restricted student difficulty any percent run. Liquid, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thanks for being here for us. All right.
So yeah, I used to do challenge runs with this game, and then the next challenge was speedrun this game, and glad to showcase the game that got me into speedrunning.
Oh, that's very cool. That's awesome to see that. Yeah, I know you're running a different game for GDQ's Juneteenth celebration in a few weeks.
Yes, I'm going to be running Slave 0X, which is another very difficult game, but
nice.
Just going to tackle this game for today.
Very good. All right. Is there anything else you want us to know, or are you ready to get into it?
No, I'm ready to get into it.
Awesome. All right, I'll give you a quick countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, we're starting off here as Yang, and in this intro sequence, we have all the shrine upgrades and abilities, so I'm gonna use that to go fast.
Yeah, this game does have multiple forms of meta progression. One is the shrines, which you unlock with your performance in levels. And the other one is one that we probably won't see very much in this run, which is to say that as you are defeated in combat, which will happen as you're still getting used to the game, and as you don't have the shrine upgrades, your character comes back slightly older each defeat. And that changes kind of your base stat spread. You get better at some things and worse at other things. So, you know, obviously we're probably not using that too much, that portion of it too much during this run, but it's a really neat way to kind of change your playstyle and help beginner players get further in. It also goes into kind of the overall, I guess technically like the live system of the run, which is to say that the age you are when you finish any of the game stages is locked in, like it's saved in as your best performance. And so when you go back and try the next level, you start at that age. So you can also use level select to go back to a previous level and try to finish at a better or a younger age so you have more lives remaining for the rest of the game. We are just finishing up our prologue here, which is we are actually playing as a villain who is setting the events of the game into action by defeating the caretakers of this dojo and setting the main character up on the path for revenge. Very much a Kill Bill sort of sequence where we're playing as Bill for this portion.
And that's us right there. Coming up on the character select, you can pick a boy or a girl. And on my first playthrough, I played as a boy. And when I did all my challenge runs, I played as a girl, so
sure.
I always picked the girl.
Yeah, very much in line with the kind of Kill Bill shaping of the story.
And one time I was doing a challenge run. They have different like voice lines, obviously, and I was trying to get the charge stab, and I missed it because I hadn't played as the boy in a while. So I don't play as the boy anymore. It's just bad luck for me.
No, totally understandable. Say, especially when between this and Slave 0X, as you mentioned, throwing yourself into very difficult games, any little edge you can get is strongly preferred.
Yeah.
That is the prologue completed in just about 3 minutes, including the cutscenes. So very, very well done there.
Yeah, I'm very glad I got the weapon focus with the broom. I was able to get 4 of them, which is, I've only been able to have done that once before. So
nicely done.
I have seen someone get all of them.
Sure.
And it's like the only optimal time to use that weapon's focus move. I like this transition into the tutorial sequence, and we get to see all the bosses too.
Yeah, a lot of shots that are right into the age up to showing you what kind of action, the training that your character has been doing, the path for revenge through to you're actually going to be doing the attacking on each of these characters. This is your training sequence, and it's a sign of what's to come. Gives you the idea, as you saw the UI appear at the top there very briefly. There is kind of a posture system in this game as well, which is one of the most effective ways to attack enemies, is to basically like force them through blocking and through using certain kinds of attacks that apply lots of stun to get into that stun state where you can do finishers on them.
As you can see, pushing's very effective because we don't have a lot of moves right now.
Yeah, the moves that we do have are empowered by the shrine upgrades we have, but still we don't have everything. So this is the difference between an any % run and a New Game Plus, where you'll have basically everything at your disposal, which does change the time and the routing of the run not insignificantly.
Yeah, I do like figuring out the best upgrade path.
Yeah, for sure.
And beat him.
It's the kind of game where at first blush you wouldn't expect to have a really detailed kind of system about how you'd route your upgrades and those sorts of things. But between games like this, I actually run a brawler, the most recent Double Dragon game, that is set up as a roguelike that has a very similar kind of progression. Kind of like Windblown, maybe even a middle ground between these two, where it's a brawler. It's very much set up like the classic Double Dragon games, but every time you defeat a boss or a mini boss, you get a randomized set of upgrades made available to you, and that shapes how the rest of your run will go.
So we're coming up on this first level here, and these enemies first here that we see are the gangster types. The one on the left is the basic types. We can hit them with just 3 heavies. And the next one is advanced, so he has more health. And we're gonna pick up these bottle here. Try to get some takedowns for some extra points, because we need them for the upgrades. Moves costs XP, as well as certain upgrades on the right side. Gonna try to pick up this bat and use the wall damage for some quick takedowns.
Love the 2D sequence, very much calling on classic movies, Hong Kong action sequences, fighting your way up and down a hallway.
I'm trying to take this guy down near the door. Oh, it was too late. If you take him out instantly, this door, and you're right next to the door, you can open it. But you gotta wait for it to lock and then unlock again.
I knew I'd get there eventually. Old Boy was the one I was thinking of that has that unbroken sequence that goes sideways down the hallway. Yeah, absolutely iconic.
Oh, you don't want to come out? That's good. Now enemies will turn if you take them down. The second enemy in this sequence will turn. So I'm just gonna take him down since he has the most health.
sound design in this game. Some of these hits just sound absolutely brutal.
Yeah. Okay, we're coming up on these upgrades. We need more focus, as well as face smash, which is this bat weapons focus move.
I mean, you know, when you're on a revenge quest, I feel like a good face smash is a great tool to have.
We have this juggernaut enemy. Gonna try to... I missed it, but you can skip that
That attack.
tutorial. It's like a little bit further than the distance for it with the one dodge. So it's easy to miss it a little bit. Oh, he was supposed to get that.
Yeah, honestly, like this point, I know this is very early on in the run, but this room and a couple like it in this level were where this game really started feeling challenging casually. But, you know, before this point, I was like, all right, I have a good handle on things. I can handle, you know, 2-3 enemies at a time. And then they drop you into a room with twice as many all at once. Like, especially if you're not careful about, like, casually you'll approach this room like half of the enemies at a time. But obviously that's not what we're doing here.
Yeah, I definitely almost died the first time I played right in that room there.
I believe it.
Gonna get some weapon durability. Skip that information because information is slow. And I actually dropped it just to be safer in this sequence because I wanted to get some stealth takedowns.
Gotcha. Yeah, those pickups are things that are sometimes a little out of your way or that you'll only get later on in level after the place they can be used initially becomes available. They let you, you know, again, we were mentioning earlier the lives system or the age system and how you, especially in your casual playthrough, will want to finish each level at a lower age so you have additional, effectively, health or lives going for future levels. So the information you pick up can often give you access to shortcuts that'll allow you to finish a level while doing less of it. And that is another form of you know, making the player more powerful by letting them finish levels at lower ages. No talking for us. I'm not surprised. Like I was gonna mention, no, yeah, the dialogue trees that show up at the bottom. No time for that.
Oh yeah. A lot of the dialogue you can skip in this. Okay, we're gonna get more focus as well as duck strike, which does as it says. It ducks under high moves, and it also has a special move when you're using weapons. And with the bat, it does the heavy finisher, but it adds soup armor.
Ooh,
I'm trying to get some ball damage here. Oh, he did not get that much, unfortunately.
On into the first phase of the first boss. Boss is, as they should be in any good Hong Kong action movie, these climactic fights are a little more prolonged than you might initially be led to expect. Very capable job taking care of the first phase of the botanist, but then he has some tricks up his sleeve. He basically uses his concoctions to transport you to a different time and space, a bit of an altered mind situation where he thinks he'll have an advantage over you, but that doesn't seem to be the case so much.
Yeah, he's supposed to, I think I was a little bit early, but he falls on top of that railing, and then you like jump into him, and he'll fall down from that, and he'll take double fall damage.
Ah.
But he only took like half of that.
Yep, and then we
we're back in the safe house.
Looped him and up against that boulder. That was very nice. I had not seen that before.
Yeah, that's duck strike with the bat. It's really, really effective. We're gonna get environmental mastery, which allows us to throw weapons and items without having to pick them up. And some things you can't pick up, so just allows us to throw more things. I'm gonna use it to try to get a stealth takedown on this enemy after this bouncer here. This level is really long and difficult. This is where I struggled the first time I played.
For sure. I think this is where most people's first playthrough will quote-unquote end, because this is quite a long level. This is the first level that really impresses the idea of, hey, once you've made it through a level, if you were thorough and found the extra intel, you can now do it and only do like half as much fighting. And that makes it feel a lot more feasible while you're still getting your feet underneath you. On the one hand, these are all just kind of, you know, party goers, and we're really putting a stick in the bike spokes here. On the other hand, as soon as you even if you don't get aggressive, eventually all these enemies will activate, even if you're trying to talk things out. So you could argue they had it coming. Yeah, Chad absolutely right with the comment that even if you make it through the rest of this level capably, the boss is a significant step up in difficulty that makes this one difficult. I love how effortless the environmental mastery attacks look. It's just like, oh yeah, no, I know how to do that. Just scooping it up and kicking it right in your face.
Try to toss these guys over the railing.
Nice.
She doesn't usually jump in. The one on the right there, but I guess she wanted to, she's excited to be on GDQ, I guess.
There you go. Wanted to get her moment in the spotlight as soon as possible. Yeah, even these individual bruisers are not easy, so when the game starts throwing two at you at once, but with the moves and the skills that you have, it was a non-issue.
Yeah, the Juggernaut on the right, he's like a basic type, so he has less health. So I just drop him and use focus on the one on the left. Got lucky there because they fight. And he knocked down this guy who has extra health. We can't take him down because he'll
Oh yeah,
transform.
I would say we didn't even get to talk to you about the. I don't remember if there's a name for it. I kind of wanted to call it like a revenge system, but certain kinds of enemies, there is a chance when defeated by normal means rather than a takedown and in other circumstances, will get back up stronger. They basically have like super armor and increased damage. So you're not the only one who has some extra tricks. So I'm not, I wasn't even thinking about that when we were talking about routing earlier, that part of the routing goes to avoiding those extra difficult encounters.
I'm gonna hop in this room to skip this dialogue. Just talking slow. Now the environment changes like they do in all the levels. I'm just gonna jump up here.
You can ask questions and make comments about the nature of your test, but I think actions speak louder than words. Yes, chat corrects me. It's the other way around. You defeat them normally to avoid the kind of demon mode, which another mention and a call out to another fantastic brawler game of the past is it's kind of like in God Hand. When you defeat certain enemies, there's a chance, especially on the higher difficulties, for them to turn into a demon form.
I really want to play that. I haven't tried that yet.
Oh, wow. Yeah. No, that actually, the infamous old poor review of the game, that is to say they thought it was bad, from IGN is actually what put the game on my radar back in the day. And then realizing it was from the same team as Okami, like I absolutely had to pick it up. It is it is a delight. The ability to like dial in your own combo from moves that you pick up and customize over the course of the game is not unlike this game, but yeah, tremendous fun. I highly recommend it.
Trying to get some fall damage on the stairs here.
Nice.
Get a little bit more weapon damage here. Now, if you're good at the game, there's a piece of geometry that you can use to get some fall damage on that second phase. But I'm not good at the game, so you're not going to see that today.
You say that, and yet.
All right, we're back at the safe house, so I'm going to get some more upgrades here. Most important is die cut, which is the knife's weapon focus move. And they buffed these moves. These moves used to take 2 focus bars, but now they only take 1, so they're like a lot more usable. And slide kick allows us to move a little bit faster.
There's always time for spammable motion moves.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to stab through this wall here. And this guy will not notice. This blue guy has extra health, so I'm glad I hit him with that. And this guy coming up here. This wall's circular, so it's kind of annoying to try to get an overthrow rather than a down throw. There we go. You just crouch punch under that move.
Nice.
Which does a little bit more stun damage. When you're holding block, when throwing things, you throw them faster, so...
It's full of
I'm gonna use that
paintballs.
die
Wow.
cut. Yeah, they have a lot of colors, which I liked. And I use them for the arenas, which have a lot of interesting environments. Get some weapon damage here. Just maximize now.
Nice.
And this knife can take out a lot of enemies with just 2 or 3 heavy hits.
Yeah, you're at max durability and damage now, right?
I don't max out the durability because I need the weapons to break down.
Okay.
Later on, we get an upgrade called Weapon Mastery at the end of this level. So weapons will break down and we can still use them while they're broken down. And the staff turns into a bat, which we'll use.
Okay.
Just gonna run past and gonna... This bodyguard here coming up. Next enemy type. Or last one, actually. We're just gonna stab him.
You asked me a question. Oh boy, have I got an answer for you.
Just gonna pick up some minor moves that just gonna fill out our move set.
Ooh, weapon catch. I see that.
Now in this rain room, we gotta kill 10 enemies. We wanna kill the ones that are like basic enemies. They only die in 2 hits. But the advanced ones will come with knives, which we need.
Okay, so you strike a balance. Try to have at least one knife available for later.
Grab this knife here. It's kind of special because it doesn't have or it has a lot of durability, more than just regular weapons.
I appreciate the whole exhibit that you're going through is probably the emotions you're feeling the first time you reach this section.
Oh yeah, rage.
Anger, rage, a little bit of everything.
This guy's gonna let us stab him without wasting focus.
Very thoughtful.
And in this sequence, it's like a lot of dark rooms. We're gonna try to sneak attack enemies that are trying to sneak attack us. And the statues in here always point to the enemies. We have this mini boss fight against 2 flash kicks with knives on their feet. Oh, she fell. Sometimes you can get some random fall damage, which really sucks when it happens to you. Alright, we're gonna get the weapon mastery move that I mentioned earlier. No. And a few other moves.
Right into that duck strike. Wow. Surprised to see it applicable in so many different places.
Yeah, it's a really great move. And you can actually, like I said, it had super armor. You can actually block moves during the attack. So if you can block right, you're invincible. And it also stops a lot of moves that like enemies would have super armor through. the ideal way to beat her is the stabber. If she's charging at you, there's kind of like a glitch. I think you have to have like your frames set to a certain way on PC.
Ooh, okay.
But you can stab her and it'll do a bunch of damage and practically kill her instantly. Whereas normally, if you're able to land a stab, it just does some damage.
Right.
Coming up on this tower here. These guys are just gonna invite us in, so we're just gonna skip them.
Shout outs to the PlayStation 2 memory card. That's what the ceiling tiles reminded me of there. I don't know about you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. This guy tried to jump us, so we're gonna jump him. And if you block, you dodge a little faster, so we're gonna use that to skip this dialogue. Don't go in the elevator, please, because you get stuck there.
Uh-oh.
Thank you.
He heard you, but then you said please, so he had to come back out.
Some enemies are already mini boss level. There's 3 levels: basic, basic, advanced, and mini boss. You see these big health bars? They're glowing.
They land one hit on you. Not so tough after all. I don't know about all that now.
All right, don't take down this girl because she'll turn.
Game immediately presents you with the takedown prompt.
Yeah, in most big fights, it's mostly random. Only the advanced enemies will turn.
Okay.
You can skip the shrine here because we have most upgrades. But there are also some sequences where these enemies, they will always turn if you try to take them down. In that club fight where we jumped down to the Juggernaut, where they're all fighting each other, that guy with the that I mentioned, excuse me, sorry about that.
No worries.
That I mentioned earlier, he'll always turn. Try to throw these guys overboard. He was too far. I just wanted to get him out, but he's trying to do extra. He's mini boss level 2. Those 2 guys. And now we have the level transformation, but there's not much left because you have we can skip all these levels, all these fights with some deaths just by jumping down these cliffs. On student, you can just like hold square and you'll just get up quickly like that. But on the higher difficulties, you got to wait for the XP to come up, and you can like get up much faster if you time it right versus having to wait for the whole time. Almost messed it up. You can get some focus here. And when you get focus, it maximizes your focus meter too, as well as extending it. This I don't think is death height, but I'm not gonna argue with the protagonist.
Yeah.
Maybe if you like dodge roll.
Right?
Yeah, blocking, you dodge a little faster, so.
You'd think with all the martial arts practice, the knees would be strong enough to take that kind of fall, but
I'm gonna try to drop down into the boss arena as straight as possible. Drop down from up there, you die. So, when I get up, I need to pick up the staff. So I don't want it to fly too far from where I spawn. We can just run past this.
and as soon as they're up against a wall, that's all she wrote.
Yep. This boss, I like the consistency because she's the oldest boss and she has the least amount of health.
There you go. They play by the same rules that you do, huh?
Yeah. She can be very easy or very hard, but I think if you like, there's a modifier, which basically you have to either throw stuff at them or knock the enemy down before you can do damage. And when you put that on her or any enemy, they're like more defensive.
Yeah.
So it's even more difficult to do it. So if you don't have a weapon, with that modifier, she becomes the hardest boss in the game.
I believe it.
Because you have to get up close to her, get an opening, and then sweep her.
Oof.
All right, we're on the last level, which isn't too bad except for the final boss. Just gonna push him against the wall. Okay, that's fine.
To kind of paraphrase and add to what Chad has been saying, it's funny that your best weapons are sticks and stairs and that your worst enemy is gravity.
Yeah.
Really kind of changing the meta of what this game is about casually.
Messed this up, it's fine. This is a calculated combo. Oh, I canceled myself.
I appreciate that this place is set up and that these people are trained such that even like the resort staff are game to try to take you down if it comes to it. Very much the beginning of the game, but in reverse, where everybody in the dojo that you were brought up in was doing their best to stop the villain.
Let's use this knife. Alright, we're coming up on Yang. I'm gonna try to get fall damage on this first phase. Just get some stuff that's gonna help us as things go wrong. I couldn't get him on the stairs here. It's a little tough because there's not a lot of space to do it.
No, that's an extremely small staircase there.
He's not getting stunned, unfortunately. When he's stunned, we can do this. And that's Sifu.
Hey,
I wish I got that fall damage, but I had the angle wrong.
GG's. No, chat was loving it. You gave us an absolutely fantastic showcase, and I'm very grateful you were able to join us for this.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, SM Liquid, where can the people find you?
I'm on Twitch, SM Liquid. I usually get addicted to a game genre, and right now I'm on the shooting games, STGs. Trying to get the 1cc on Ray Force, which I think is going to be on GDQ also.
I think you're right.
And I'm also practicing my speed run for Slave 0x for Juneteenth, which is like if you think this game is hard, that game is on another level. So
yeah, I got to watch a little bit of that, and it seems very intense. So you're definitely going to want to come back for that during Juneteenth. All right, well, thank you so much again, SM Liquid, and thank you so much to everyone for being here for the Kepler Interactive Showcase and our fantastic runs of Mario 64 and Sonic 2 that we had in the block before that. If you missed anything, stay tuned because we will be replaying the whole thing right after this, and then also continue to tune in to the GDQ Hotfix. Going to have tomorrow night Game Over and Think Fast with lots of fun, furious action. I don't know quite what they have planned, so I'll be tuning in myself. But thank you so much to everyone. Enjoy the replay and have a great rest of your night.
Thank you.